You are now
listening to
East Bay Radio.
Welcome back for quite possibly and unfortunately the last time on this version and episode of the Warning Track. I am, of course, your main host for, sadly, the final time this semester and maybe perhaps ever, Dom Torres, talking with you today about, well, we have a lot of baseball to talk about. But I am here today, obviously, with my two very good, close friends, Thomas and Kevin, to talk about the last of this semester. Before we get into baseball, well, first of all, how are you two doing?
Doing good.
Good, tired, worn out, overworked.
And speaking of overworked, I know that for some of you who might be listening to this later, it is finals week for many of us. Some of us had finals last week. I had one final last week that I managed to get 100 on. A little pat on myself in the back for that. But it is indeed the last of this semester. And, well, I think for one of us, it is going to be the, first stoppage in their part of their lives. Kevin, congratulations on should be successful.
Wait, are you graduating this semester?
I am.
Congratulations.
Should be, unless you're like, hey, you forgot one class. But I'm pretty sure.
And yeah, it's definitely going to be different. I definitely not only just enjoyed this semester, but also the time that I spent with you both, learning to be friends with you both because, I'm mostly asynchronous online. So this has been one of the only outlets for me to socialize. And you guys have been super instrumental, not only in shaping me as a person, but also in making me and all of us, I think, stronger in the aspects of radio and show hosting.
The feeling is very much reciprocal, Dom.
Definitely 1,000,000%.
1,000,000% indeed. Well, we have a lot of 1 million in percentiles to talk about, because this has been such an active, at least so far, first part of the offseason. I think comparatively to last year, where it seemed like teams were a little bit more hesitant to spend on that front, we have come out banging with some big free agent signings as winter meetings did start earlier this week. The hot stove has indeed been lit, but I would be very ashamed if I did not get a chance to talk about, I don't want to even get to some of the other big free agent deals, because I am a Dodgers fan, as some of you who might be listening to the show know, as these two guys are listening to me talk. Edwin Diaz, the closer for the New York Mets, and one of the greatest closers, at least number-wise, of all time. You want to look at any one of the metrics, whether it's regular ERA, WHIP, or if you're looking at the strikeout rate, some of the actual analytical numbers. He is indeed one of the best at his position, and he will now be headed to the Los Angeles Dodgers in full form for a 3-year, $69 million deal. This $23 million per year annual value is the highest ever for any single reliever, beating out himself on a contract extension that did land him $21 million per year, $105 million deal that he did opt out of. Thomas, I want to start with you because we have definitely missed your presence for the last 2-3 weeks. What do you think of this deal with Edwin Diaz?
It's definitely a good pickup for them, especially because of their bullpen. They led the league in blown saves, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
So this will definitely fix their problem as far as not leading the league in blown saves. But I still think they need a couple extra pieces for their bullpen. That if I were the Dodgers, that would be the start in revamping that bullpen.
Kevin, what say you?
I love it so much, especially after all the trials and tribulations with finding a closer. You know, Kenley Jensen left the team right in 2022, correct?
You are correct.
And they haven't had Evan Phillips, Michael Kopech, Blake Trinan, Kimball. Hasn't really kind of worked out. And so finding a guy long term to close out games is a great pickup at the Dodgers.
It's actually insane to think about because the Dodgers bullpen has been one of the strongest units, I would say, over the last 5 years. You want to talk about 2022 when we had a super bullpen. Evan Phillips was kind of the de facto closer, but that was also a year where we had traded for Craig Kimbrell, trading him to the Dodgers in replacement for A.J. Pollock, who was sent over to the White Sox and never really got any steam after that. As he was on the Giants, right, for 1 year, if I remember correctly.
I'm pretty sure he was, for like a day, basically.
He was, yeah. So having somebody be out there in the ninth inning, not a Roki Sasaki that you're asking to close out games because there's just no spots in the starting lineup for him to use. On top of that, who else are you going to put out there? Alex Vesia had a pretty decent year. Jack Dreyer had a decent year as well, but didn't really get into the postseason as much because he was a rookie. First time that he had led, highest any time that he had as a relief pitcher, being in that Dodgers bullpen. Now that we're looking at it, I mean, this is somebody that you can easily go down and say, here's the ball. We need 3 outs. You can go get it. Do you feel the same way as I do, Thomas?
Yeah, definitely. That's someone who they should have a lot of confidence in and a lot of trust. Going into the playoffs, you can kind of tell that they didn't have that much confidence in their bullpen, which is why their starters went the distance that they went. As you can see in Game 7, they threw all their starters in for the bullpen the entire game and didn't really rely on their relievers specifically.
This is a dude right here. Typical, like, he's going to get it done. 68 for the season, 66 innings, 28 saves, a 1.63 ERA. That is an amazing season. He had 98 strikeouts, too, on top of that. Yeah, this is just a straight-up dude who can come in right in the ninth inning and just close it out.
42% strikeout rate if you are just listening to us here at East Bay Live talking about Tevin talking about Edwin Diaz and some of his numbers. 42% of all of the outs that he's had are strikeouts. And that would be number 2. And I don't remember who number 1 was on that list specifically, but it's also another one of those big name relievers. And you also have some of these guys in the Hall of Fame who have strikeout rates that are around 25, 26%. It's pretty much a near guaranteed strikeout if Edwin Diaz is going to be out there to close. And obviously with this means that the Dodgers can slide Tanner Scott back to a setup role in the 7th or 8th inning, as he is still on the books for another 3 years. And I do expect a bounce back season from him. That I think just a lot of things went wrong on that particular deal. But this is also the second straight year that the Dodgers have signed the top marquee free agent for closers. This is typically not an area where they assert themselves in primarily as far as spending money has been concerned. But for the last 2 years, because of, I think, the added revenue from a guy like a Shohei Ohtani and a guy like Yoshinobu Yamamoto, taking in all of that revenue from Japan, it has allowed the Dodgers to spend money in other areas, perhaps where they might never have ventured to begin with in the first place.
I think strategically for Dave Roberts, he's very, very happy. One of the big things we've seen of the Dodgers is just late in games, relief pitching, and closing games out. So getting like this guy, I can't wait. You're gonna be very excited for his slider coming in. It's bumping on what he's top out, like 102.
Yeah, he throws gas.
Throws gas.
Has a disgusting slider. This is one of the best pitchers in the game right now.
Definitely.
I also want to throw in, according to Fabian Ardaya and Katie Wu of The Athletic, the New York Mets had actually given Edwin Diaz a solid re-signing offer at 3 years, $66 million with deferrals, but he rejected that and said, I want to go to Tinseltown and close games here.
Yeah, it's the Mets, man. Who wants to?
Yeah, I think he saw the writing on the wall of the Mets. Everyone leaving. You want to play for a team that's going to win it all. I mean, the Mets.
It ain't the Mets. Sorry,
it ain't the Mets. You got to think about who's like the worst franchise in sports, and I feel bad for whoever's like a New York Jets fan and a Mets fan.
White Sox.
Rockies.
Could you imagine? Do you think there's someone out there who's a Brooklyn Nets, a Jets fan, and a Mets fan?
There has to be.
There has to be.
I think they exist.
They should get paid $1 million a year
just to have the jerseys on.
Yeah, like I feel bad.
Every Let's Go Mets chant is 50,000.
It should be.
It's very insane for me to think about because Steve Cohen is obviously the highest spending owner in baseball and has shown it for the last 4 years. Somebody who is unafraid to not only infuse the money into the franchise and give it back to the fans, but also somebody who's very much willing to go over the line in terms of retaining guys. And we've seen deals like maybe the Brandon Nimmo deal that brought him back for 8 years. Steve Cohen has obviously invested a lot into his team to the point where the Mets have a higher annual spending on their players than the GDP of Granada as a whole, which is very insane to think about. But I do wonder if the stench overall of the last 4 or 5 years of failure, maybe it has taken a toll on the image of being in Queens and saying, you're going to get paid here, but it may be not such a hot commodity for players thinking, if I need to go somewhere and get paid, this is the place to do it. Maybe it's a role that is being overturned now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there because in recent years, they've been saying, oh, the Mets are spending money, but they're not getting anywhere. Especially this year, they signed Soto to the biggest contract ever, and they missed the playoffs to the Reds.
This season in particular, when you look at, we're talking about later about Alonso, but just the way they lost and collapsed, it leaves a big stench. And why would you, I think a lot of guys just wanted to be out, and especially being in New York, you have to win.
Yeah,
and when
definitely.
you just totally collapse, it's like, oh, shoot, like I don't want to, I need something new.
Because they had the best record in the first half, right?
They did.
They were
the best team in baseball in the first half of the season.
I remember that they were playing the Marlins and needed to beat them. Collapsed in like the seventh inning. It was just a typical Mets.
Beat the Mets. Step right up and beat the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really stopping the ball. Can't get those home runs over the wall. East side, west side. Every team is a joke. So take your team to ES Mets for New York. No. Okay, that's it for me.
I love that. Clap it up.
Thank you.
Good
Good job, Dom.
Thank you. No, if you are just listening again to it, we are crowding the Mets on East Bay Live. It's just unfortunate to see a team like this put so much effort into, running a team. Because I actually would like to bring up the Devin Williams $17 million per year for $51 million overall 3-year signing, sort of a segue to really put this whole thing into perspective, partly on one end because 3 years for Devin Williams. I thought he was only going to get 2, but 3. I was definitely surprised there. But not only just at the fact of that, the Edwin Diaz contract that was given by the Mets was only $3 million from what the Dodgers offered. And you're not going to tell me, at least to me, that Steve Cohen did not have an extra $3 million in his gigantic bank account to move heaven and earth.
No, I really don't think. no offense, but like it's not like the Marlins. They have money. They're going to spend it. It was never going to be about a money issue for the Mets. It just simply didn't want to be there.
What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, $3 million. I mean, for a team he's already like playing for, I think he just wanted to get out of there. That team, unfortunately, is falling apart. All their stars are leaving. They just have Lindor and Soto and Nimmo, but Nimmo's kind of falling off.
Yeah, but they didn't have.
They
Dom's-
traded Nimmo away
Oh,
Yeah.
did they? To
Texas. I want to bring in another trade in. So they traded away Nimmo for second baseman Marcus Semien.
Oh, yeah, they did do that. I remember that. That's not a good. Simeon's.
It's a lose-lose deal.
It's like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like Nimmo. We have to have him. You know, so it's kind of like.
I think if this was 2021 or even 2023, I've been like, oh, okay. The Mets got a steal. They got Semien. I can't say that 2025 at all.
Yeah, Simeon, it's not gonna work out. You've heard it here first.
How old is he? Like he's got to be like 30.
No, Simeon's. I think
Semien is
early
35. He
30s.
is right.
Oh,
Yeah, he
wow.
was
It's
born
like-
in San Francisco 35 years ago.
Berkeley Bears. Go.
Yeah, I just it so far has just been a weird, maybe just an overall weird, perplexing season from the Mets. Because yesterday we did see a report that the Philadelphia Phillies were star Kyle Schwarber was being entranced by the Mets, that the Mets were thinking about a competitive offer. But so far, the only thing that they have to show for it is, hey, Devin Williams is now our closer. Just like it was with David Stearns in Milwaukee. Like, that's the only thing that partly made sense to me was, wait, there's connection. There's a familiarity there between Williams and Stearns, and that typically does work out for a lot of franchise, especially if you know, I know what I'm going to be able to get out of my star. I don't know if having him as your only bullpen piece if I go on, let me go ahead and look at the Mets depth chart as we speak right now for their bullpen. Their bullpen as we speak has Devin Williams at closer. And for the, oh man, you guys are going to love these names. For the setup men, they have Brooks Raley and AJ Minter.
wow.
AJ Minter, yeah. And here are some names that I don't know if you guys have maybe you guys forgot. I have no idea. We've got Adbert Alzolay.
Oh, great player.
Great player, I know. Cooper Criswell. Richard Lovelady. Huascar Brazoban.
I can see Lovelady being a big time arm for the Mets. Just last name alone. They let's just take last
That's a
name
baseball
alone.
name.
The Mets have the best last names.
Best out of yeah.
So
Except for Rayleigh. I mean, we have a Rayleigh's here in California, so that's the only exception. But the rest of their bullpen, I can agree with that.
I can get behind them.
Yeah, this is just a very. They had a lot of bullpen problems last year, and they did trade a lot of key farm pieces away for guys like Ryan Helsley, who went to the Orioles for 2 years, $20 million, I think. And he wasn't playing well. I think he had like a 7.12 ERA last year for New York. I don't know what the Mets are doing. I'm scared. I would be scared if I was a Met fan.
It's a leadership thing.
They're
You got to find the pieces, and they're just spending money to spend money at this point.
I agree with you there, Kevin. It seems like they're trying to give Devin Williams like a second chance, but 3 years is a lot for the season he just had. Which, I mean, yeah, it's the Yankees. It's hard playing in New York and all that other stuff, but I mean, he's playing in New York still just for a team across the subway.
Across the subway, indeed. I would not be surprised if the Mets not only not make the playoffs, but they managed to have a 70-win season. They just recently fired all of their coaches except for their manager. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did see that just recently.
But I wanted to add that,
Yes.
you know, Devin Williams did have a stellar career before going to the Yankees. You know, he posted under 2 ERA for the past 3-4 seasons. So maybe he does turn it around. You know, getting lit up in New York like that, like, not being able to deal with being a Yankee and all the other stuff. Some guys aren't able to bounce back from that. So I think Williams will be like okay, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's really good. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm looking again at some of the underlying numbers, and the biggest thing for him last year, a lot of guys were able to get the barrel onto the balls that he'd thrown. He was in the 32nd percentile in barrel percentage rate, and he was among the worst in baseball in terms of the walk rate as well. If you look at some of these underlying numbers, the biggest positives that he has, at least from what I am seeing, is that he gets guys to swing and miss. He was in the top 99%, or top 1%, I should say, in terms of whiff rate. He got guys to chase a lot. He was amongst the top 3% there, top 3% of the league in strikeout rate. But I'm going to be a lot more lukewarm. I know that there are probably a lot of Mets fans out there who are probably enraged at the situation that they're in right now. I don't mind Williams as the setup guy or the guy who's going to be like, okay, you can start to piece a bullpen in mind if you have Diaz as your closer and you have Williams as your setup man.
Something I've noticed when I watch Devin Williams pitch is he pitches to get to that split screwball change that he has, because once he gets 2 strikes on a hitter, he's kind of untouchable. But the thing is, getting those 2 strikes, and he doesn't throw that hard, so he has to find a way to get ahead, and that's why he leaves a lot of pitches down the middle.
That's true.
Because he tops out at 95. You'll get lit up if you leave that over the plate. And just as a Yankee fan, me watching him pitch and watching him try to close out games, that's just what I've seen. He's throwing strikes just to get to strikes, just to get to that screwball, because that screwball's unhittable if you look at it.
Oh, for sure. Kevin, do you feel the same way?
I think it's a good pickup. I just think with the Mets, like, we'll see by spring training what they have, but there's so many pieces they need.
I agree.
And you can't just film in 1 year. So I'd be interested in their farm system. I think you got to have guys kind of like the Red Sox, build from the ground up. There's pieces maybe in their farm system I haven't seen, but I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be a very good season. It's going to be very much a development season for these Mets. Like I said, Dom, I kind of agree. They could just win like 70 games.
And it wouldn't be out of the world for even the Braves to take a bigger step next year, right the ship from the last couple of years and missing the playoffs and find a way to sneak back in. It wouldn't surprise me if the Mets just like make the wild card and then get trounced by an actual good team, because that also tends to happen in Queens.
Yeah.
So then why sign Soto? Like what? Like
money,
name
and money. You got to market your team somehow, right?
I just think they saw Lindor, they saw Alonso staying for a long time, and you got
Alonso's still a free agent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
They thought like, hey, maybe Alonso was signed back.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can say something. They got Kyle Schwarber. Oh, that's a team right there.
It is indeed, but I am also looking at, and I just want to flex a little bit before we move on to the name that Kevin mentioned. The Dodgers do have the best farm system in baseball. This is not according to me. This is according to both MLB.com and Baseball America. The Dodgers have the #1 farm system in all of baseball, and that is with some of our prospects like Alex Freeland and Dalton Rushing, Justin Robleski graduating and getting to the big leagues this year. So we still have...
Thomas, can you remind me how many of the Dodgers players on this World Series roster came from the farm system?
Will Smith.
Yes.
Okay.
We got our boy Will Smith.
That's
Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw did come from our farm.
He pitched 1 game.
Not even a batter.
He was still on the roster, so I think that doesn't matter. He had one of the biggest outs in Game 3, so I am going to fight you on that. So Clayton Kershaw. Let's see. Who else? Andy Paz. No.
Andy Paz.
Andy Paz, who had the biggest catch of the season. And you cannot argue
Thomas,
with
what
that.
did he hit?
We don't talk.
We don't know. That's how bad.
we don't know about. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Emmett Sheehan, Justin Robleski, like I aforementioned. So yeah, that is 1/4 of our system, our team. From
That's not 1/4. That's like
that is 1/4. That's what 6 out of 26. Yeah, that's 1/4.
sure.
How many Yankees, Mister Thomas Engelman, on the 2009 team came from the farm system?
On the 2009,
Yeah.
Gardner, Jeter, Posada, Andy Pettit, Mariano Rivera.
So he named 5. So he named less guys than me. Okay, so just wanted to point that out. real quick.
Curtis
Phil
Grandis-
Hughes,
Yeah.
Jabba Chamberlain,
Yeah.
Melky Cabrera. Come on, that's 7. That's like a whole
they
lineup.
actually like I don't
Jabba
know,
Chamberlain was drafted by Milwaukee. Are you trying to lie to me right now?
Was he? He was
Yeah,
not
I've-
drafted by
but
Milwaukee.
maybe he was sent.
Maybe he was sent. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
That's the same thing.
That's the same. So when we fix relief pitchers, so when we fix a guy like a Blake Trinan or an Alex Vessier who had really, especially Alex Vessier.
I include that if you consider your system.
Evan, well, we like Evan Phillips. We fix relievers, man. We fix relievers.
There is no doubt that I do think going to everybody says it. Players who come over to Los Angeles, they're like, this system, what they have in place, is the best by far. So, yeah, I mean,
Jack Dreyer, there you go. That's 7 guys in the World Series. bro.
did he? Jack? Yeah,
Yeah, we did draft Jack Dreyer.
Dom's gonna
so.
tell his grandkids in like 30 years that Jack Dreyer.
I'll tell my grandkids about Will Klein. That's who I'm
Probably
talking
will.
about. Will Klein, who got let go by 4 other teams before joining the Dodgers and had the biggest game of his life. So, you know what? Doesn't matter. I mean, we had a ring to show for it. So before I knock all of that into the sense, I also do want to see. I forgot what the second thing was I was going to flex. But maybe that's just because I'm swimming too much in the euphoria of the championship as we are still here at East Bay Live. You are listening to the warning track. Kevin did mention earlier before they went into my tirade about flattening my ego, which might be appropriately fair, but you know how many championships are you ever going to see in your lifetime? We did get a Kyle Schwarber signing. According to Matt Gelb over the Athletic, this was yesterday. The Mets were strongly courting Kyle Schwarber to a long-term deal. We also did get confirmation from Joel Sherman of the New York Post that Kyle Schwarber was also offered the same contract that I am just about to announce. But Kyle Schwarber today did re-sign with the Philadelphia Phillies for $150 million over 5 years. That is a $30 million annual average value. They will keep the continuity and they will continue to spend into the luxury tax. Kevin, I want to start with you. Do you find this move surprising from Philly that they went the 5 years? Do you like the signing? Are you skeptical? What are your feelings on it?
I'm not skeptical. This is a guy who's just a flat out the most clutch player I have personally seen in the last 10 years. He's always been that guy. Yeah, his numbers are not his home run numbers are insane, but he doesn't really hit for average. But when it comes to the postseason, he just can flat out hit.
I know he did such a great job against the Dodgers this year. I was so flabbergasted by what he was able to do this postseason.
I know.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was gonna add only they didn't want him to leave, and reported that by the Athletic. Baltimore made a deal, $150 million offer, so it's not like the market they overpaid. I know the Reds, his hometown team, was $125 million, kind of in that range. So I think this is great retaining this type of dude who just can flat out hit. It would be personally a pain if I was a Phillies and saw this guy in another uniform. So I like it. 5-year deal. Yeah, it's just what the market was kind of saying, and I think they paid fair price for Schwarber.
What do you think, Thomas?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense for him to go anywhere else. He's gotten a lot better since he's been with Philly, and he was already like a superstar. Everyone knew what the ceiling was for him, and he's reached that since he's been with the Phillies. So why leave a team when you're having success there already? A bunch of success. He's number 2 in MVP this year.
56 home runs.
56 home runs.
That's a lot of home runs. I actually want to quote Matt Gelb when he made the signing today. He wrote, "Harper is the star of stars, but it's hard not to look at this as the day the Phillies made it Schwarber's team." And I think that's not only just saying, I think about not how bad of a player like Bryce Harper has necessarily become, just more so of him being a really, really good player. Not I'm going to be the MVP caliber type of player every single year. I think those days are a little bit behind Harper, but you talk about a guy who will bring the thump in your bat at the top of your lineup, on top of getting on base every single time. This is a guy that you want on your team. You just want the bat in his hands. You don't have to necessarily worry about him being in the outfield because he can't field for anything. But this is a guy who is going to put a thump in the bat, and that's exactly what the Phillies need.
Exactly. He's turning 33 in March, and people are like, oh, he's old. His style of play, just hitting home runs. He doesn't have to play the field if he doesn't have to. Hitting home runs, getting on base, that can last you until you're like 38 or 40. So I like it. I'm also the biggest Cubs fan growing up, so I very much like Kyle Schwarber a lot.
Since we're talking about the Phillies, do you guys think Harper's washed? He's only 33, man.
I don't think he's washed. I just think he's a very good player now. I don't think he's like, he's going to hit the 40 home runs every season or get, the 280, 40, 90, 100 RBI type of stat line. I think you're looking at Harper as somebody who is more so of a really, really good first baseman, just not the world-bending MVP guy that he was for most of his career. And honestly, I think it's okay to say that. He's had a lot of injuries over the last couple of years, a couple of broken wrists. He's just had to deal with a lot. It's not to say that he's any less of a player. I just think that, when you grow older and your body gets more banged. I mean, this guy has been playing professional baseball since 18. Right? Yeah. He's been in this league for such a long time. So, the wear and tear is eventually going to get to you.
And he hit 27 home runs, which is 261 average, which is his lowest since, 2019. He's a solid player. I don't know. I don't think his numbers. I think he's too good of a baseball player to really not have a great season. Yeah. It's a solid season, and I think if he keeps this production up, it's gonna be totally fine for the Phillies because they have the bats to really kind of make a thump.
And not only that, I mean, the Phillies did finish second in the NL this year. Like, it's not like the Phillies were a bad team in spite. No. I mean, they have been a good team, even despite Harper regressing for the last 2 years, anyways. And I think it's okay to understand and say that. I mean, the Phillies know that Harper, I think, is the leader of that locker room. And one thing that I have loved progressively, seeing Harper play, if you are listening to us here at CSU East Bay live on the boarding track, it's how he went from this sort of like hot-headed kid that came in. I was like one of the most mature guys in baseball. I think that overall, like as a growth in the trend, has been one of the most fascinating things to watch. Seeing him grow as a person.
Yeah, I mean, he came in as a kid, and now he's a grown man with a whole family. So it's definitely like, man, yeah, I definitely like not to bring in another sport, but I always would bring in like Formula One. Max Verstappen had a little moment with. I mean, he's very hot-headed. Now he's not really kind of like that anymore. He's very much mature, and I think it only helps you as a player to not be. It'd be embarrassing, honestly, if Bryce Harper is still, 33 and embarrassing himself by going full on, attacking. Oh my God, why am I blanking when he charged him out against the Giants?
Hunter Strickland.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Still one of the funniest moments I think I've seen in a game.
Yeah, just yelling and screaming and piping down like, "Yo, man, like, let's go, let's go." It's just that's what happens when you grow up, and I really do think that it's really cool to see Bryce do that. Before we move on, I just want to say a couple of quick numbers before we talk about the next signing. Kyle Schwarber has had 12 plate appearances against now Dodgers closer Edwin Diaz. Do you guys want to know what his batting average is against Edwin Diaz?
Let's hear it.
No, I want you guys to guess.
350.
Kevin?
I was going to say really low, like 275 or something.
He has had 0 hits, 0 on base by walk, hit by pitch, or anything. And 10 of those 12 plate appearances were strikeouts.
Oh, wow.
That's
insane.
So, yeah, if the Dodgers and Phillies do match up again next year, and Edwin Diaz is closing. I am not expecting any thumps from Kyle Schwarber's bat because he has not been able to find out how to hit this guy. So, once again, I'm sorry for flexing on the folks, but I just want to let the Mets fans know we got your guy. You don't have to worry.
Oh,
We will strike
no.
out. We will strike out Schwarber for you. In that meeting, though, the biggest signing so far, monetary-wise, and we actually do have one of our panelists here who does not like it as much as perhaps some others. This is Dylan Cease heading over to the Toronto Blue Jays, where we did not get a chance to talk about it because winter break happened, and Kevin and I last week talked about managerial positions. So we did not get a chance to talk about Dylan Cease, but he is headed over to the Toronto Blue Jays for a 7-year, $210 million deal. That is about $30 million, and with deferrals, it does come out to an average of $27 million. So yes, not people do deferrals outside of Los Angeles, contrary to popular belief. But yes, he did reject the qualifying offer, and I was very shocked at this deal, particularly because I don't think the crowd of starting pitching is necessarily the strongest this go around. We had the Yoshinobu Yamamoto signing a couple of years ago, and then last year a couple of other guys like Blake Snell did too. I'm just naming off Dodgers, my gosh, but you get my point here. Dylan Cease heading over to the Toronto Blue Jays, the biggest blockbuster deal so far, and I think very big showing that the people who own Rogers Center are not messing around. They want to finish the deal and win a World Series. I'm going to bring it over to you, Thomas, because you were the person that I was alluding to earlier. What do you think about this deal and what it spells for the Blue Jays?
Overpaid by at least $100 million. I mean, this guy had a 4.55 ERA last year. His only good season was in 22 when he finished second in Cy Young. Since he's been with the Padres, his ERA with the Padres is a 3.9. I don't think you would pay that guy $210 million.
210. It's a lot of money.
You got to realize you're going to the AL East, and that's a hit, like a hitter's division. You know, he walks a lot of guys, and you can't really be that kind of pitcher pitching in the AL East. I think the Blue Jays are going to regret signing Dylan Cease.
Kevin,
for me, he's. Yeah, like I said, would I pay a pitcher of his caliber probably $210 million? Probably not. I pay him like $175 to $190 in that range. He's just he's a good pitcher. I mean, you talk about a guy who's had over 5 200 strikeout seasons, including this past season. Maybe not his best year overall. I mean, he did have a 4.5 ERA, but it was kind of a weird kind of season with the Padres in general. But yeah, I kind of agree with Tom. I just don't think paying this amount of money for this pitcher is, I don't know, particularly the best thing. But you know what? I always say, like, you need a guy. So the Blue Jays are taking a chance like this is going to be their starter pitcher. And we'll see what happens. It wouldn't be surprising to see if you get a couple Cy Youngs. I can totally see it, but I just don't know. I'm kind of eerie.
I want to talk about the strikeouts again. Like, yeah, he struck a lot of guys out, but he kind of reminds me of Chris Archer. I don't know if you guys remember Chris Archer, but he struck a lot of guys out, but he also got hit really hard.
Yeah.
And so for me, it kind of seems like he's just one of those pitchers. Yeah, he strikes guys out, but that's it. Like, that's all his outs right there. He'll just strike guys out. Otherwise, he'll get hit really hard.
It's interesting that you bring up the comparison because I don't think Chris Archer was ever as good of a pitcher as Cease. I'm looking at some of the underlying numbers. Again, like you mentioned, I mean, the K rate is at 30%, which is in the top 10% of the league. Whiff rate in amongst the top 5% of the league at 33.4. I do think part of it does have to do with sometimes the Padres pitchers will do this. We saw something similar happen this year with Michael King, who was also a free agent, for those who are listening and wondering. Former Yankee, indeed. And I think this is at market value of what we are expecting to see out of a guy who you can legitimately call your number 2 or number 3 starter. If your number 1 guys are going to be the Yoshinobu Yamamotos or the Garrett Coles or guys like that are going Zach Wheeler, nickeling and diming over 40, 42, 46 million, maybe even 50 million whenever Tarek Skubal, if he even gets an extension from Detroit, those are the guys that you're going to be paying top dollar for. But unfortunately, I think in this league, even with all of the adage and that we know from so many Tommy John surgeries, and I think one of the most unfortunate parts of the sport, because I can totally see this backfiring if Dylan Cease, who does have pretty high velocity, that fastball does sit at 97 miles an hour, 98 on average, you might be looking at somebody who not only is going to set the market for himself, but also other guys that you can call number 2 or number 3 starters and say, yeah, we can trust you in a playoff game. And I do think that Dylan Cease is in the top 15, 20, 25, maybe at, most conservative in terms of guys who are pitchers in baseball. And if you are looking at somebody like that, I think it does. I know that, again, 7 years is going to be a lot. He's going to be 37 by the end of this deal. And I don't know how that deal is going to look, but you are paying, the first 3-4 years, you're hoping we can win a World Series sometime in that time frame. And the hope is he can still be a top 20, top 25 pitcher when it is still all said and done by the end of the season.
What I really like about him, he's durable. He's had over 130 starts between 2021 and 2024. This is a guy who can consistently, week in and week out, perform at a very high level. So, time will tell. The first 4 seasons, obviously, will be a big deal. I think they have some. I don't know. I like the signing, but I'm still kind of with Thomas. I don't know. Don't quite know if he's worth that amount of money.
I'm just looking now. He's had at least 32 starts the last 5 seasons.
The only time that he missed a start, I'm looking this up right now, courtesy, thank you to Fangraphs for this information. He's only missed 1 start. That was during his rookie year when he got scratched. He has not missed a start since.
Yeah, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're paying for durability.
Great mustache.
It is indeed a good mustache, and he's probably going to grow. I am actually looking at his media day photo on MLB.com, and he has a full-grown beard now with a Blue Jays hat on. And so, yeah, it's clear that the Toronto Blue Jays are trying to look for the one person, or maybe a couple of people, who knows, that might have swung the World Series momentum their way that they never, ever saw coming in terms of that other spot, because it's I think what you have to do in a very competitive upper market tier competition, and guys like this, good pitchers, as much as I hate to say it, they just don't. I don't think good pitchers come around as often as the great hitters do, and I think that part of it has to do with, if you're looking for a guy who can be your ace, we don't have many of those in baseball anymore. I can probably name you 5 or 6 guys, and that, I can name you those guys that, it's a game 1, I know that I'm going to be giving them the ball. And there's not many of those guys left in baseball. And I think the thought process is, okay, can we get Dylan Cease to be maybe our first or second best pitcher, whatever that might look like, and then write it out, see how it goes. I think that's the hope for Toronto. I think that's why they're also willing to overpay for him. That's also part of the deal too. Andrew Friedman, the president of baseball operations for the Dodgers, said that if you think that you are going to end up with a free agent, you will finish 3rd every time. And so I also do think that part of it might be somebody might have offered him 180 or the 190 deal that Kevin was alluding to. But maybe the Blue Jays swept in and said, hey, here's a deal that we know you can't pass up on.
Yeah.
And I do think that also comes with it too. And how can you say no?
Yeah, I don't know if Toronto is particularly a place a lot of players want to go to. just being in Canada in general, geographically, it's like, would you rather stay home, stay close to home? Your parents have to have a passport every time they travel
Right, yeah,
across.
you're
It's
right.
something to think about. Goes back to the Giants when they're signing. It's like, oh, do I want to live in this area? It's like, well, it's something to really kind of look at. But
That's a great point. Because I do think that, like, yeah, geographics probably matter. And yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays probably like, okay, like, yeah, I know we understand that you have to bring a passport every single time that you cross the border, but you get $20 more million.
yeah, would you rather? I don't want to do that.
I'm not a baseball player, but, you know, I'm thinking about how these negotiations are going. And
They get pre-checks. Yeah, I don't imagine.
hey, they get free healthcare. That's something that we can't give.
I don't know if Dylan Cease can afford healthcare.
Okay, that's fair enough, right? It's for the top 1%, not the top 10. I also want to mark this out with one last piece that we did not get to talk about, and that is actually a signing that I did not anticipate to come in, perhaps this quickly or with this specific team. Zach Gallen, who I thought was going to be getting a much larger deal and maybe a different market. Maybe he could have got. I mean, if he had been a free agent in 2023, he probably would have gotten a Dylan Cease type signing, if not more. But unfortunately, because of the schematics of everything else that is concerned, I want to bring two things up. The first one is he actually did not sign a deal with the team that supposedly got him. Boob Nightingale, as some people know him from Twitter. For the quick story for those who are in the unknown, I'm alluding to Bob Nightingale of USA Today. He's probably the most mentally healthy Twitter blue sky user that I know, because he just posts stuff, and he posts stuff sometimes with spelling errors, sometimes with column errors, sometimes with misinformation. And he doesn't mind or bat an eye to people replying, correcting him, or anything else of that sort. And the reason why I bring this up is because he reported that Zach Gallen, the Zach Gallen deal was supposed to be if I am reading this correctly, a $100-ish million deal for 3 years. That is what he said was reported. But then the tweet was rescinded and recollected by Jeff Passan of ESPN, who said that there was no deal. Guys, I want your quick thoughts on this before we move on to our next topic. What should bad journalizing in sports get you? Because do you think that guys like this, John Morosi, obviously a couple of years ago when he said Shohei Ohtani was heading on a plane to Toronto, stuff like that. What do you guys think should be the repercussions for reporters who tweet out misinformation of that sort?
Prison. No, I'm totally joking.
I would just say mark them as unreliable. You know?
Yeah.
If you see that they post something on Twitter or, have a story, you kind of just brush it off and ignore it.
Definitely during these winter meetings in free agency, it's always about who's going to get out first. And sometimes when you look at, like, John Heyman, when he had the show, not Shohei Ohtani, when Aaron Judge to San Francisco, I don't even want to say it. Agents will use you. They use reporters all the time. They get out information so they can get a better deal for their clients. It's understandable to why this happens, but it's also like, dude, come on. Don't do this. Don't put me through this Aaron Judge situation again. Don't want to do it. So
I told Thomas this last week, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the last time that we talked. I remember working in my comic book shop. Mm-hmm. During the time of the Arson Judge signing. And I remember looking at my phone. I got a notification from Twitter from John Heyman. Giants sign Arson Judge. And then Susan Slutter of the San Francisco Chronicle, just 7 minutes later, retracted it. And the reason to why I say all of this is because Dwayne Kuiper's kid, Cole Kuiper, who is, by the way, one of my favorite people in the world. I love him. It feels weird as a Dodgers fan saying that, but I do love him. He was there buying comics at my comic book store, and he almost lost his mind when I was like, oh, hey, Aaron Judge, he's going to San Francisco. And then they retracted it. And that was the most heartbreaking I have ever seen somebody. The part where somebody says, "Oh, we're falling." I just saw somebody fall to their knees at Walmart. I feel like that was Cole Kuiper in that moment.
I liked I retweeted, did everything, quote tweeted. Like, this is
You
this
tweeted
is
you tweeted your own tweet again.
I did. I was like, this is the best thing that ever happened in my life, and to be ripped away from me is something.
Yeah, my heart broke for a minute, and then it got retracted, and I was like, whew, thank goodness. Because we'd be nothing without him,
Yeah.
to say the least.
What an unfortunate... It is the truth. The Yankees are a bottom-dwelling team without Aaron Judge, respectively to everybody else. We talked about him extensively on the show. If you're just listening to us on CSU East Bay Live, you are listening to the warning track where we did glaze over Judge and his amazing MVP season. I even brought my metrics and my narrative in it, and then my co-host talked about that. But I also do want to bring up a couple more topics before we round out what is the last of this installment and also of the year. Jeff Kent just got recently elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Obviously, the Hall of Fame is a point of, high glory for some and also a contention for many. If I bring up this article from The Athletic by Chad Jennings, Jeff Kent has been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. 14 of the 16 committee members did vote for him in favor, and fewer than 5 voted for Bonds and Clemens. I want to get your thoughts, guys, first on the Jeff Kent specifically. Kevin, let's start off with you because you're a Bay Area guy, Giants guy. Obviously, Jeff Kent, really big with the Giants. What are your thoughts on this first?
So he's one of the all-time best second basemen. You're talking about a guy who's hit 377 home runs as a second baseman, an MVP in 2000, 5-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger Award winner. This guy is a flat-out player. Now, people always go back to, Bonds didn't get in. It's safe to say, maybe who knows if Jeff Kent took steroids. I'm not gonna. He probably maybe did, but he played 17 seasons and he was very, very solid for the Giants. The biggest question does entail why didn't Bonds get in, and people will be like, "Well, it's the steroids." We can talk more a little about that, but Thomas, do you think Jeff Kent deserved to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I definitely think he deserves it. He's probably one of, if not the best second baseman of all time, in my opinion. Former MVP,
Yeah.
multi-time All-Star. He played on the same team as Bonds, too, for a couple of seasons.
I was listening to some interviews, and it's very well known that Bonds and Kent did not get along with each other at all.
Really?
No, not at all. And so it is, God, I couldn't imagine being Bonds. It's just, I don't know how you feel about this, Dom, but let's just say Barry Bonds is very well known as the biggest a-hole, probably in all of sports media. The sports media votes you in. You think if Bonds was like the most perfect, nice, respectful human being to these reporters, you think Bonds would have been in?
Yeah, I do think that some of the narrative does shift around your outward and personality. I mean, you are a picture of your time, right? And in a time where a lot of people were using steroids, except for Pedro Martinez, who had like the 2 greatest seasons ever as a pitcher, you're looking at guys like that. You're seeing, okay, who are the faces of the movement? And if the face of your movement is somebody who is explicitly known for throwing reporters under the bus constantly, of course you're probably going to have some animosity against that, right? Mm-hmm. Barry Bonds is one of the greatest players that I have ever seen. This is a guy who can see the seams on a baseball, thrown like right after the pitch and determining, is this a ball or is this a strike? You can't teach eyesight like that. I mean, you can't even. It's not something that you learn. It's something that's hereditary. It's something that is a part of you and a part of your talent as a person, I think. And nobody did it better than Bonds in that aspect. Okay, this is so weird. I should not be fawning about this as a Dodgers fan, but it's. I mean, what
Keep
can
going.
Just
Yeah,
look at the stats. Look at the stats.
Look at the stats.
He's the greatest hitter to ever pick up a baseball bat.
Yeah, statement fact.
Bonds is the type of hitter, if you throw him a strike, he'll hit it out. Not a cookie, not a mistake. If you pitch something into the strike zone, you're not seeing it again.
Like I said, like even before all the incident when he was on the Pirates, he had a Hall of Fame career. So this is, and to be totally fair, am I mistaken? But even if you take steroids, do they help you hit the baseball?
Yeah.
He still has to hit the baseball, and make solid contact.
Steroids don't give you. Here, I'll just look up a couple stats on his baseball reference page. Look, 1 year he slugged 620, 670. 800
670
in 2001. His slugging percentage was 863. On base 515. 2004 on base percentage 609.
Ooh,
Slugging percentage 812.
There we
OPS 1400.
the GOAT.
Like he I would say he's a walking cheat code.
He is.
In 2002, he had an OPS plus. He had a weighted runs created plus of 244. Weighted runs created plus, for those who are in the unknown, is a stat that is designated to level the playing curve in terms of the field. So let's just say, for example, you play for the Rockies and you hit 60 home runs. You don't hit well outside of it. The stat is specifically created to level the playing field so that people at Coors who are playing at Coors don't look better than other guys around the league. At the 244 WRC plus in 2002, Barry Bonds hit 144% better than the average baseball player, which is just insane to think about as a mind-boggling statistic on its own.
I have another one for you. 688 intentional walks in his career.
Never forget that. Bases loaded, intentional walk.
So 688 times, the manager's like, "Yeah, let's not even pitch to him. Let's just put him on. Just go ahead, put him on base." Career slugging 607, career on base 444. Like, we can go about this on and on and on for hours. Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame. He's the greatest hitter ever. Ever, ever, ever.
Ever McNever. I agree. And I think to the greater overall picture of it, and we've displayed some of the statistics for you guys, if you are listening here at East Bay Live, Bonds and Kent are marred together, just as Kevin has mentioned. And because they are marred together, it's sort of this picturesque form of view and seeing Kent get in while Bonds didn't.
Yeah.
There's no way you can separate that anymore. You can't say one belongs and somehow the other one doesn't. And I think it's just completely unfair to Bonds at that point for his exclusion, so far anyways, to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, totally agree.
I mean, there are guys in there who've done steroids. Like,
I mean, there are also guys in there who are sympathizers with the KKK and actual racists. So I think if we can let those guys in, like Cap Anson, we can definitely let somebody like Barry Bonds in. So that's just my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think?
No, like I said, I think it always has to go back to Barry and his treatment to the reporters. If I'm a reporter and I got treated like that, there's so many stories out there. I'd be like, you know what? This is my big FU to you, Barry. And I don't know. I feel like in the next 10 years, he will get in. I think there'll be new faces in sports media and the reporters who vote on Bonds. And I think every couple years, the narrative keeps shifting. Like, Barry should get in. Barry should get in. 20 years ago, that probably wasn't a thing, or 10 years ago. So I hope he gets in. I think he's one of the best top 3 baseball players of all time. So
I agree. And it's really difficult to look at all of this and say, they shouldn't have got in. This is what honestly ticks me off is like, what about that one guy who didn't make this person unanimously in? I'm sorry. Nobody should be wanting Ichiro out of the Hall of Fame. Nobody should be.
Yeah, definitely.
We have to kick someone out for that. There has to be that is such a bad take and vote that you need to. You want to talk about like kicking reporters out? That's
Yeah, see that would be granted.
Yes.
I think like that to me is part of the insanity. Same with, again, you can hate Derek Jeter all you want. Who's the one person that didn't vote him in? Same with Mariano Rivera. You know, like there's stuff that as a fan, like sure, I might have maybe some more animosity against them because I can't root for the team. But at the same time, you can equally recognize the talent level and display that they had while they were on the baseball field. And I think that is perfectly okay to do, even if you are an unbiased voter.
most definitely.
And I want to bring it to the last point of concern as part of these winter meetings, because our good friend Thomas wanted to lay his mind on this again, unrelated to Dylan Cease. It is related to current Yankees governor Hal Steinbrenner, who said, quote, according to a report from Jorge Castillo at ESPN, "Would it be ideal if I went down with the payroll? Of course. But does that mean that's going to happen? Of course not. We want to field a team we know could win a championship, or we believe could win a championship." He challenged the notion that the Yankees made a profit in 2025, also suggesting that they lost money after Forbes reported that they generated over $700 million estimated in annual revenue this year. I need to hear your take on this, Thomas, because I know that this is a pro-labor podcast, by the way. I just want to mention that this is a pro-labor podcast, and as pro-labor, I probably do definitely side against these very wealthy aristocrats. But Thomas, please take the floor.
All right, guys, buckle up.
Yes, I want to hear this.
So let's start with what he said. They're the Yankees. Why are you? Payroll shouldn't even, not having enough payroll shouldn't even be in the question. It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Why are you not spending money? They're just being cheap. They're prospect hugging. Like, I know we talked about this Grisham thing a few weeks back, but you gotta start there. You know, why are you re-signing Grish? Why even offer him a qualifying offer if you're trying to get Tucker, if you're trying to get Bellinger? You have Jason Dominguez in left field, you know, a hype prospect. Why not give him playing time every day? We know he's good. We know he's going to get better the more playing time he gets. Brian Cashman said during the winter meetings on MLB Network.
Go on, Thomas. Keep on it.
During MLB Network that Jason Dominguez is going to have to compete for the left field position. And it just blows my mind that that's even a consideration. He should be starting. Brian Cashman even said, hey, if Jason Dominguez is on another team, he'd be getting reps every day. So what does that tell you as the Yankees? Should we not be giving this? We know he's going to get better the more he plays. Why are we not getting him on the field? His only at-bat in the playoffs was a double. That's more than what 90% of the team did. Like, I can go on and on and on about this all day long. Like,
I even get pissed off by Jason Dominguez's lack of reps.
Like, as a Yankee fan, it feels like I want it more than the front office because
Thomas, what do you do? Do you fire? Who do you fire?
Who do I fire?
Fire
Yeah.
the owner, I think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, if he's screaming poverty, get rid of, like, sell the team. You know, we want to win. You got Judge, you're wasting his prime. You got Cole, you're wasting his prime. Like, we have the pieces we need. We're just missing maybe a couple of guys. But they have everything they need to be a juggernaut. They have it. They have the potential. And they're not spending money. They're not doing what they need to do to put a championship team on the field.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we blew a 12-game division lead in a month, you know, because they're not willing to spend the money. And it's just frustrating as a fan to watch this go down, you know. They're like, oh, we're interested in this guy. We're interested in that guy. But you don't want to pay him. So
Totally.
what's the point of even bringing him up in conversation?
You know, it's something that we've talked about this on the show before, where it's behaviors like this that will lead to what is most certainly going to be a very extended lockout in next year, because the Dodgers do not cry poor. I know that for sure. If there's anything that I am very happy as a fan, is that I know that the governorship of my team is willing to go all in no matter what happens with that specific part of the team. And if you have a franchise that is worth one of the most in sports, it's like number 3 behind the Lakers and the Cowboys, right? You're talking about a franchise that is iconic to the point where people who don't know baseball, who don't watch baseball, they wear that stupid hat. But that is the power of their branding and their marketing and their status as a franchise. And if you have somebody who is saying, I cannot afford to pay all of these guys this amount of money and still continue to be competitive, you're talking about cuts and this and that. Nobody wants to hear that. I don't have that type of motive. If I had a team, I know that I would want to invest in it as much as possible because I know that it's going to bring happiness somewhere, right? It always goes back to the fans. And if you never invest it back into the fan base that roots for you, you are going to create a disconnect that some teams like Mr. Kevin mentioned, like the New York Jets. Do you want to end up in a spot where I don't think you want to end up in a spot where the New York Jets are as a franchise?
No, like I go back, like they have the pieces to be a juggernaut, and the last thing your owner wants to be saying is, oh, we can't afford. No, you got to be like, we're going to get 3 guys who are going to come here, we're going to pay them, and they're going to compete and try and win it all. So, Thomas, I don't know. It's definitely not what you want to hear coming from the owner. So, it'd be interesting who they pay.
I feel like, you mentioned the Dodgers aren't afraid to spend money, and they have a juggernaut team. If there's any team that can match up with the Dodgers as far as spending money and trying to make a super juggernaut team, it's the Yankees. The Dodgers are who the Yankees are supposed to be. The Yankees are supposed to buy their championships. The Yankees are supposed to sign the best players, And it's I'm frustrated. I'm just super frustrated at my team right now. It's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to listen to them talk. It's frustrating to see this roster right now. It's frustrating that they're not spending money. It's a lot to deal with right now.
What he is saying is that when the team eventually re-signs former utility guy Miguel Andujar to a $2 million deal and says this is a great offseason signing, we're going to see an actual crash out on video with our good guy Thomas Engelman just like racking it up.
You might actually, yeah. I might have to tape Hal Steinbrenner's face to a couple of baseballs.
Oh,
hit a couple home runs.
There's an image. And I know that, again, I am riding off an emotional high because I got the notification of the Edwin Diaz signing like 5 minutes before my first final started.
Oh, wow.
And I actually think that legitimately might have given me the dopamine boost to like not only get through the finals, but like answer the questions super easily.
Hey, thank you, Edwin Diaz.
So thank you, Edwin Diaz, for deciding to ditch that stupid New York Met orange and whatever the heck blue for the actual royal blue that you deserve to be in. Hopefully Edwin Diaz doesn't regress to a Tanner Scott-like season, but it would be hilarious to see Tanner Scott actually perform like he did before this season, or this prior season, I should say. And I can't believe it, guys. This is the end of the show. This is the end of the show. This is the end of the semester. This is not the end of Cal State East Bay Live today, but words cannot describe how important the show has been to me and producing it and getting through for the last 2.5 months since we started the concept of this. I mean, I feel like not only the chemistry, but also just the way that, the banter, the fun aspect of it, just getting to talk about ball, it has given me a lot of reprieve and a lot of admiration for not only the work that you guys put in, but also just making this experience awesome. So I want to thank you two from the bottom of my heart for the experience, the semester, and just running the show. I'm going to miss this.
It's been fun, man. It's been a lot of fun. This is the most fun I've had in a while.
This was awesome.
I love talking about baseball. I can do this for hours at a time.
Awesome. Yeah, like this has been an amazing talking about the Giants. Necessarily not tough speaking. I've spoken pretty good for the Dodgers. I have.
I know.
Points.
I was surprised.
No, but this has been fun. I love talking sports, especially baseball. There's so much things goes on in this sports world, so it's very exciting to talk about.
Indeed. And as we all traverse different paths, I know that, yes.
Before we end the segment, let's talk about division picks and World Series picks. Who you guys got?
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to pull up a chart via
let me just
shout out to Fangraphs for all the teams. Okay, so next season, I am going to pick, oh man, I'll go NL West first and then I'll end in the AL East. NL West, I'm obviously going to pick the Dodgers, and I don't think it's going to be a hot take for them, even if you hate them. I mean, you can't disagree with the results at this point. NL Central, I am actually going to go with the Reds this year. I think they take a little bit of a step.
I love the Reds.
I think they take a little bit of a step forward. I really like what I saw out of them. It's unfortunate that they ran into the Dodgers buzzsaw. I texted a friend, and I was like, when the wild card series happened, because the Mets had obviously fallen out, I told him, hey, if you're ever down, just remember that the Mets missed their chance to get whooped by the Dodgers in the NL wild card in 2025 this year. So, yes, I will be picking the Reds for the NL Central. The NL East, I'm actually going to go with the Phillies. I think re-signing Schwarber gives them an edge not even the edge. It keeps continuity, and like Kevin said, the bat is going to stay. It's not like he has to run on the field or anything. You just hope that the vision, the eyesight have been the same for the last couple of years. It's a new passing of the torch, if you will, to Schwarber. AL West, I am going to go. I think the Rangers rebound with new manager, Skip Schumacher. They figure some stuff out. I was hoping for an odd year Bruce Bochy type season, but some things just don't work out. I think Schumacher is going to be a good fit there, and they still have Corey Seager, who I still root for every single day of my life. I love that guy, and I think the Rangers will take the AL West. AL Central, I am going to pick the Guardians again because they just find stupid ways to win in the most stupid imaginable way possible. We've had the biggest collapse. I mean, talk about Mets collapses. The Tigers were the actual team that had the worst collapse in MLB history for that division. Mm-hmm. So I think taking the Guardians in and seeing what Steven Vogt has done with that young team, I think it is going to be another successful season for them. For the AL East, I am going to do my weird dark horse under the market sleeper pick because I am such a big fan of what they do. I'm actually going to pick the Tampa Bay Rays to make a bound in for the division wins. So those are my 6 division winners. I think out of the AL from those teams, I'm going to say the Guardians make their way to their first ever World Series in it would be 10 years by that point. Dodgers make it to the World Series. We get the three-peat, and we get a lockout. So those are my picks for next season.
For me, winning the NL West will be the Giants. In NL Central, I'm going Cincinnati. I love the young core. In the NL East, I'm gonna go the Phillies. I really don't. I'm gonna go the Braves.
Okay.
I'm gonna go the Braves. Change it up a little bit.
Okay.
In the AL East, I'm taking the Red Sox. I got the hat on. I love the young core. Will they probably do anything? Probably not, but need to change it up. In the AL Central, I'm gonna take the Tigers. I like what they have, and I think they can continue that success. However, in the AL West, I am doing a big time sleeper in the Athletics.
Ooh, they got a good hitting core.
Now, out of this, I will take the Giants, and I will take... Let's go a little throwback. Let's go back 2012, Detroit Tigers making the World Series.
Okay. Is that going to be Tarek Skubal's last game in a Detroit uniform, you think, in your scenario?
Maybe, you know what? Yes, because he's a Bay Area kid, and he wants to return home. Do I know that for sure? Probably not.
There you go. So out of Mr. Kevin, we've we've got a Giants over Detroit.
Giants Red Sox be so cool.
It would be cool. Mr. Engelman.
NL West, I got Dodgers.
Yep.
Central, I got the Cubs.
Okay.
I got the Cubs. I played against Nico Horner in high school, so
Really?
I did, yeah.
Holy no. We're not ending the show before you tell us that story.
NL East, I got Braves. They weren't healthy this year. I think if they're healthy, they're winning that division easily. AL West, I got probably the Astros. I have to say, Astros or Rangers, but if I had to pick, probably Astros.
Yeah.
Central, I got Guardians. East, I got my Yankees. World Series, I got Yankees over Cubs.
Ooh. Love to see that matchup.
Okay, so they will be in Wrigley for Game 7.
No,
Yankee
Yankee Stadium for Game 7.
Oh,
definitely.
okay. You have to get the short porch cheap in.
However, the last Game 7 didn't really end well at Yankee Stadium.
It did not.
I guess.
And that is no. You have to tell the Nico Horner story, like any Nico Horner story.
Yeah, so I went to Skyline in Oakland, Skyline High School. He went to Head Royce, which was like down the hill, like not even 5 minutes. And we played him. They walked all over us, but just in high school, you can tell he was in a league of his own for the most part. You can tell he was
Different.
Yeah, he was different. He DH'd that game, but he had some shots that he hit.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool to play against a guy like that.
That you knew, like, okay, this guy's ready for the big leagues.
Yeah, like you can just looking at him play, you could tell that's where he was gonna end up.
Hey, had a pretty good season too. Hit 10% over 10% better than the league. You want to talk about a guy who is sterling on defense. I mean, that is Nico Horner in every single aspect. And word, that's going to be it for the freaking semester, guys. It has been a ride. It has been a blast. And it has been an honor to talk baseball with you two for this show.
It's been an honor.
Yeah, I'm sad to go, man.
It is, but it's all. Somebody said all good things come to an end, but it also does not mean goodbye. It just means see you later.
See you later.
And I am going to leave with on that. Upcoming soon, we do have another live podcast, a surprise from two people that we might not know, and a couple of other routines in for you. Of course, I am Dom Torres, the main host of the Warning Track Show, signing out for the last time here in the beautiful hills of East Bay, California. Please stay safe, everybody, and have a wonderful day wherever you are.
What up, what up? We're back here with East Bay Live. This is your boy JoJo. That was a little New York Lights for you. Coming in live. Got my boy Kev over here, my buddy Dom. Getting ready to... What are you guys doing over here anyway? What's happening over here? Hello? Do we got mics up in here? There we go.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Now we're back here. University Radio, East Bay Live.
For my last episode on Breaking the Play, I'm going to bring in Dom Torres kind of as a mediary, kind of talking about this whole NBA betting scandal, specifically what happened to Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier. Dom, this has been an, oh my gosh, PR nightmare for the NBA for the last couple of weeks when the whole scandal came out. Now, the scandal kind of went on to two separate incidents. One was the Chauncey Billups situation with the rigged poker game that involved the mob, and the other one was to fixing games, not necessarily the score of the outcome of the game, but player performance. Dom, I just was wondering, what are your thoughts about this whole situation?
First of all, thank you. First of all, Kevin, thank you for having me on. It is a pleasure to be the last guest on your podcast talking about basketball and also the very weird world that is the parasocial aspect of betting and, well, more so the parasocial aspect of someone's psyche when they do bet and obviously the bets themselves. This has been, like you said, a gigantic scandal in the midst of epic proportions where we have a lot of great basketball being played by the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have a chance to beat the 73-win Warriors record from 2016. You have guys like Luka Doncic in LA balling out. Nikola Jokic looks like he might win his 4th MVP. But we're not talking about all that. We are talking about Kash Patel getting his hands dirty with what I do believe is going to be the biggest marker in terms of the transparency that we have seen created by mainly the NBA, because they did start what I believe anyways is this whole entire trend of making betting transparently public. And when you do that without regulation, I think it leads to the possible worst outcome, which is exactly these incidents.
Yes, exactly. And I think I just involving, we speak on it, but gambling overall for these two high-profile players and coaches involved. One involves was a sitting head coach for the Portland Trail Blazers, and the other a pretty good player for the Miami Heat. Now, I don't know how much you know about Operation Royal Flush, which was turned by Kash Patel and his team at the FBI. But do you have any general knowledge of what Chauncey Billups' role as basically in the scheme?
Yeah, so I checked it out via The Athletic because they have covered the the scandal pretty well in detail. And not only was Chauncey Billups part of this whole entire alleged rig poker game scheme, we've also seen another player, Damon Jones specifically, another defendant who also appeared to be a part of this gambling rig as well. They were alleged to have acted as lures in the poker scheme, and they are also facing very, very similar charges. Jones was also arrested and charged in the federal indictment that apparently alleged illegal sports gambling on NBA games, while Billups was not named in the filing. There is a co-conspirator in this specific lawsuit that also is handily against Chauncey Billups in this case. That it matches the record.
Yeah, it matches both. It did say in one of the in the indictments, it basically listed a man who played him basically they basically listed Chauncey Billups, an Oregon man. Now, how far deep this goes, who knows, as time will tell. But one of the funniest kind of things is like the mob still existing. Did you have any clue the mob even existed?
You know, obviously there is going to be different power plays and different power struggles as we head into a world where it's no longer things underground, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe the comparison that I would bring in is prohibition, right? In the
Yeah.
1920s, when that is when you really started to see a lot of these underground groups find ways to get the alcohol that the government said you couldn't have. And now we're sort of seeing a reverse flip on that, where it is the mob, I think, has evolved into the monoliths of FanDuel, BetMGM, these types of large corporations where they can feed into the power struggle without being arrested, because it is now legal to bet on sports games, to bet on poker games, to bet on these different incidents. And if you're seeing something like this, I think you're probably telling yourself, you just find different ways to influence your power. And it's, I think, less so that the mob went away, more so that I think they evolved with the time.
That's perfectly said. And these weren't just any rigged poker. They were any poker game. It's very much rigged. They had rigged shuffling machines. Other equipment included poker chip trays that secretly read cards with a hidden camera, special contact lenses, X-ray tables. They had their own structured communication system. But most importantly, what Chauncey Billups did, what the indictment is saying, is basically saying Billups knew these games were rigged. He was part of the lure. Because when you say, if you're, let's say you're a millionaire, one guy lost $500,000, part of it's like, oh, I want to play a game with Chauncey Billups. That's part of the scheme that went on. And and there's a huge difference between, showing up and not knowing, which Kevin Garnett was one of the players who attended one of these poker games, I think it was in Las Vegas, to knowing. I don't know if you agree with that, like how the court, like I think that would be the big defense, is Chauncey Billups know that these games were going on.
I think there is a subconscious in somebody's play whenever you are in a group with people, and this is partly from limited experience in Vegas, because I have seen some of my family members, I won't name who, participate in slots or poker games. They know exactly what they are getting into.
Uh-huh.
And I mean that if you go to Vegas and you see this craps table and you tell yourself, I have no idea who these guys are, but it looks fun.
Yeah.
There's a difference between that and, hey, man, what's up? And I do think that at the heart of this is I guess technically former now, because he's not coaching his team, former head coach who was at least aware of the surroundings that he was in. I think you can be perfectly oblivious if you are heading into one of these. Like, for example, if you are a Kevin Garnett, sometimes you might just be like, oh, like there's a poker game playing or going on. Okay, might as well be a part of it. I do think there is a difference between that and knowing the context that the games are happening in, and also the players that you're surrounding yourself with in that specific environment.
When I was kind of looking over all the interviews and all kind of the reports, one big question always came back. These guys are making millions and millions of dollars. Why in the hell are these athletes betting? Do you have any answers why athletes in general like to bet, put all the money, and be even involved in any of this?
I want to sort of tie it to the current scandal that is currently going on in baseball with Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase of the Cleveland Guardians, two pitchers in that aspect. And you see from what they had entailed is, well, in the manner of Emmanuel Clase, it is specifically for getting the added money. But I think it's also part of the thrill that comes with, what if I'm not caught? What if you are at the edge of your seat and you have the chance to get much more money than anticipated than you were already getting? Sure, it might be dumb in the long run, but you can't disassociate yourself from the thrill. And I do think that the associated thrill that you get from betting, especially when you get the hit, that's what feels the best, right? Like the saying where most bettors run themselves out before they hit big. I do legitimately think that a lot of sports athletes are also feeling the same way in that aspect. You are trying to find ways to put yourself out there. And if you can have a semi-harmless night of just throwing a couple bucks around because you're a millionaire, why not? You're in a better position than most other people are in this country. Most other people are in the world, for a matter of fact. Why not do that for the entertainment of your business?
And speaking about betting in the NBA, like the culture in NBA, there's a lot of betting going on. Not necessarily sports betting, but just poker. When you go on a team airplane, all likely there's going to be poker being played. We talk about one of the most infamous moments in NBA history, going back at Gilbert Arenas. Totally forgot the other guy's name. But they had a heated argument over a poker game and who was going to get paid. So it's so embedded into the culture of the NBA to bet. And also, like you said, the thrill, the excitement. When you're a former athlete, you don't have that anymore. So you're trying to emulate it. And that kind of ties into our next kind of discussion with the rigged. And this is, let's just ask this. Between these two cases, between the rigged poker games and the Terry Rozier point shaving, what do you think is more damaging to the NBA's reputation?
It definitely has to be the Terry Rozier
Yeah.
one. It's no contest to me that I think if you were to look in the whole entire aggregate of it all, like a couple of poker games that were fixed, and if you were a part of that, cool if you're an NBA player, but somebody can look at that and say, oh, that's just a guy who's trying to find, like, as you mentioned, their prime self after the prime of their careers.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily write that off and say, this person had a great NBA career, they just didn't have it after they retired. You cannot say the same if you are an active player and you are saying, oh, I am going to completely transform the way somebody looks at the sport. If you are actively going in and saying, I can shave a couple of points off because I can do it. And for somebody like Terry Rozier, who was great in Boston, one of those athletes, right, that really kickstarted the sort of like no Kyrie Irving, no Gordon Hayward. A lot of people in 2018 thought that they were going to be out of championship contention. Terry Rozier was one of the players that immediately stepped up in the absence of Kyrie Irving and took them to spots where people did not expect. And you're seeing a sort of downfall in Miami where Miami, they traded away a first-round pick for Terry Rozier, right? So that, I think, should show you the caliber of player that I think Miami was getting. And to sort of see him sort of fall out over the last couple of years, and now with the knowledge, or aforementioned maybe knowledge, that he might have been involved into the point shaving or whatnot, it really does, I think, damage the reputation of what maybe people look at as this is the top form of entertainment. But what if it's just, oh, I'm here to get a couple more dollars into my bank account if I can?
Yeah, insane. One of the most insane stories was Rozier when he came and left the game against the Pelicans. He told his friend that he intended to leave the game early so he would not hit his bets. I forgot the over and unders, but it was basically his friend betted all the unders, and that night they won, and then his friend drove to Rozier's home to pay him, allegedly, this is all alleged, $200,000. That's absolutely insane, because it goes back to the Jonte Porter. Are these guys influenced in any sort of way? I know Jonte Porter was actually threatened by the mob himself to throw these games because he was in so much debt. Was Rozier in debt? Did he just do it, like you said, because he wanted the money? I have absolutely no clue why.
I think that it also has to go back to the Luis Ortiz, Emmanuel Clase incident, where you have this group of people who are not only, I think, expecting you to underperform, but they're also doing these prop bets where they're saying, okay, you're going to throw that first pitch for a ball and we're going to get money out of it. And the more that obviously accumulates, right, because these players are currently not on larger paydays. Yeah. You're going to see guys throw those games away. And in the manner of Terry Rozier, it stinks seeing this and maybe not knowing the full details, but at least some of the allegations that have gone on. Or again, you have a slight downturn in Miami, but now we know why you've had a slight downturn in Miami. It doesn't make sense to me in the fact that if you play well, obviously, you're going to get a much larger payday later down the line, right? Yeah. It's like sort of sacrificing, maybe not an exact comparison here, but it's sacrificing a year of college to play poker or you like try to get big in Vegas. And you realize, wait, I could have stayed in college and gotten a degree and maybe gotten some more money out of it. But to some people, that legitimately is how they do feel like, oh, this is going to be a better situation for me than not. I want to have that thrill and experience versus something where, if I play my butt off and continue to work as hard as I can get that later payday. To some people, that doesn't look like an optimal solution, whereas the former looks much more appealing because of the thrill of it, or just because, hey, I can get this money now. I don't have to worry about later. I'm not going to get caught.
No, like I said, when you if you say someone, if you're who's committing a crime, you're going to get caught, all likelihood in the beginning, they're probably like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that. And going back to this whole indictment, the other thing that's been listed is a lot of these Damon Jones, who was a former teammate of LeBron James and kind of served as a liaison or somewhat kind of on staff of a lot of these NBA teams. He was passing along inside information about injuries, sickness, and whatever, and sharing it to him. And I always go back to this allegedly, but it seemed true, about this. In the indictment, it said an NBA coach at the time lives in Oregon, but before the information became public, he shared that with his associates that over $100,000 were wagered on this game against the Blazers, when it was listed that several top players, including Damian Lillard, would be out.
Can I tell a story about
go
this?
on.
Actually, I would like to talk about a fantasy football league that I'm in. And we have plenty of people who are the nut job sports fan. I mean, we're all nut job sports fans. I don't think there is such a thing. If you are into sports, you are into it. I don't think there's an out unless you watch, casually or just for, pleasure or enjoyment for one night, and that's it. I say this because when the news came out about the Damon Jones incident, one of the commissioners, there's two commissioners in my league. One of the commissioners in my league thought that LeBron James was betting illegally.
I thought that at first, yeah. I'm like, headline.
On games, right? And I think we can obviously talk about the sensualization that media has created, where it always has to be, we got to attach somebody big so people will click on it. LeBron will get you clicks. There is no other player in the world that will be able to generate as much content for you as LeBron. But in that moment, I went to myself, okay, remember what you learned in all of your college classes about media literacy and building that over. So regarding my very long conversation with my friend after I had read the Athletic article along with the corresponding CNN article, because they were the ones I think who hit it first, we look at sort of this timeline where this person, this player who knew about the ankle injury that sidelined LeBron for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, against the Bucks.
And you're just like, wait a second. Something's not right here. And it is unfortunate because you never want to see somebody materializing on bets that they probably shouldn't be making.
Mm-hmm.
How many times... this is definitely true for Sleeper. I can't speak to all sports books, but a lot of major sports books nowadays will void your bet if the guy gets injured. Because why on earth would they want... Would you want to spend money on a guy that you know is not going to hit that bet if they are off the court? And it's unfortunate that Damon Jones not only subjugated himself to that specific incident, but it also, I think, shows his very lackluster character in doing something that probably should not have been done. I mean, sure, prop bets are prop bets, but if you knew the guy was not going to be there, why would you have done it in the first place?
And they kind of dial this whole conversation in, and my possibly could be our last question. But what changes need to be made for the NBA to totally avoid what has happened?
It's really difficult because I think betting is unfortunately just going to be a part of the culture now. It's really disappointing to see most of the YouTubers that I watch for sports news or sports analysis say, this video is sponsored by FanDuel, this video is sponsored by BetMGM, this video is sponsored by Sleeper Bets, or this video is sponsored by whatever big company. And there's no getting around that. These are the guys who have wagered in the money. These are the guys who have wagered in and put in so much time and effort to change the culture to a point where it is now impossible to see a spread being on a game. And it bums me out before I sort of get into what I believe could be a possible fix for not only the NBA, but every single other sport. I miss the days when you could look at a spread and you could tell yourself, this is about what the average denominator or the factor could be in terms of how big a deficit might be or how much a team is favored, right? When you see a team in football, for example, favored 13.5 points, you're telling yourself this is going to be a blowout because these two teams are not evenly matched. I think the comparison would be if you saw the Jets and the Patriots play today. You'd probably think that the Patriots would win by a lot, right? I miss the days when the spreads were strictly about how big of a margin that somebody is going to be determining it to be instead of, oh, hey, what if this guy doesn't manage to be a blowout? Let's put all of our money in on this team. And somebody's going to be getting a lot of money. It's obviously going to either go to the person who bet it or it's usually the sports book. Let's be real. But what I would like to do with sports betting in terms of overall fixes, I would remove prop betting, I think is the first thing.
Yeah, I was going to say,
If prop betting is, I think, the biggest detriment to the game because you can do it at that specific moment in time. And there are so many factors into the game. Whether you're watching it live, you go on BetMGM. I apologize to all the people. Listen, Vegas makes me sick with my stomach, so I'm just going to stick with the guys over at Vegas. But you go on BetMGM, and they have an option for, will LeBron make his next three? What if something you can completely influence whatever it is on the courts?
There's so many other small bets in the prop bets they can directly dictate anything in the game. It might be very tough to kind of like, oh, how do you know that he's fixing this one aspect of a play?
Right, exactly. And it's unfortunate because we now have evidence that people are fixing games. The Emmanuel Clase, Luis Ortiz one has been marked to death for the last month and a half or so, where, again, Emmanuel Clase is literally throwing balls in the dirt.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before, too. If you go up 1-0, that is such a big advantage already to the batter.
Most definitely.
And in basketball, you get a 3 in. Okay, cool. If you know that 3 is going in, that's going to be a big advantage for your team.
Yeah.
And the first thing that I would unilaterally do is say, make all your bets before the game starts so that when the game actually does happen, if something weird happens, like a Jonte Porter incident where he knows that he's not going to be getting his points, you don't have incidents like that where you have to kick him out of the league because that is the last thing you want to see do.
Most definitely. When it comes, you hit the nail on the head for a lot of discussion. The normalization of sports betting through integrating sports betting and ads into every sports media, whether that's podcasts, YouTube videos, you do it, broadcast. But go on to the fixes. Prop betting is, I would eliminate, especially for lower level players who have, they're going to score 5 points, score this. But another thing I like to include for the when it goes to Damon Jones and giving insider information is for the NBA to release injury reports much, much sooner. So we don't have all these instances of, who's going to play, who's going to not. Because right now, the NBA, LeBron, it'd be 2 minutes before the game, he's like, he's not going. It's like, well, we know this for 15 hours, basically. But we didn't put it on the report. So I think that's the next plausible move. I do not think sports betting will ever go away. There's too much money involved. The NBA, Adam Silver, has even mentioned that people watch games because they bet on sports.
And you don't want to drive viewership away.
Exactly.
But to add to your point of the injury reports, I actually would extend this to a removal of back-to-backs in basketball overall. We are seeing, in terms of not even just sports, but just the NBA overall now, where teams are faster and they are running harder than they ever have been.
Guys are bigger, faster, stronger.
If you look at the amount of miles that these guys are running, I looked at a statistic on pace earlier this season. I think the pace this season, if you look at all the overall teams, it's like in the 120s if you combine every single one of these teams. And I think for reference, in 2014, the pace was around 96. So we're seeing a 24-point increase in pace on that front. Guys are wearing out quicker ever than possible too. And we need to protect not only the little guys, but also we've seen in the playoffs Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese Halliburton all suffer season-ending injuries. I think due to the proposed or now very popular quick, swift style of play that is just a part of every single NBA team now. And if you limit those back-to-backs and if you allow guys to rest, rehab, heal, and just overall be fresher on the court, I not only think it will lead to less injuries, I also think that it will lead to the proposal that you had, which is saying we can stop all of these NBA prop bet scandals if we are transparent with the sport that we know is going to be fixed. And I think even too, you can add maybe a games limit to that, but I think that's a completely different conversation for another time.
I know. I want to thank you again, Dom, for coming on to the show and speaking about ball, speaking about the scandal.
Thank you for thinking of me. I always love talking about basketball, and I'm really glad that you hit the head on the high note with the NBA.
That's an L. Hopefully there's many more scandals so we can discuss much more. It's very, very interesting during this time. So I will possibly see you next week. Possibly not. Who knows? To be determined.
But thank you so much, and have a good one, guys, from East Bay Live.
Yes.
You are now
Listening to
East Bay Radio.
This is East Bay Live.
You are now
listening to
East Bay Radio.
You're listening to student radio here at the University of Cal State East Bay. These are the final projects for our COM podcasting class, COM 337, and that was Kevin Duroff and his guest, Dom Torres. So we're going to go into a little music now. So yeah, stay tuned for more student projects here on East Bay Live.
Thank you, Joe.
man is the king. And you are still listening to East Bay Live, coming to you from the beautiful hills of Hayward, California, and the equally lovely campus of California State University, East Bay. Up next, we've got three gentlemen who are going to be mixing up in Spanish again. They're going to let you know what they're going to be talking about in just a few minutes, so stay tuned for that and more here on East Bay Live.
Hola.
Hello, hello.
Hola la gente de Hayward, somos los chicanos. Yo soy Samuel Guzmán.
Yo soy Mateo.
Y yo me llamo Ariel Morales.
Y ok, gente de Hayward. Hoy, la tema de hoy va a ser música mexicana.
¿Música mexicana?
Música mexicana, sí.
Pura música. ¿Me escuchas?
Sí, te escucho, no me escucho.
Arre, ok. ¿Qué tipo de música a ti te gusta, Mateo?
No, pues, Mateo, estás en una banda, ¿no?
Yes, I am.
Dime.
Pues explícanos cómo...
Las
cómo
tarolas, entonces toco música bandera, entonces música de banda. Entonces, banda estilo sinaloense. Entonces ahí tocamos y todo, zapateados, rancheras, cumbias alegres, guapangos, de todo lo que quieran. Corridos
todo el rollo.
Corridos
Ay, Chalino Sánchez aquí está.
También.
¿Qué toca? ¿La guitarra, no? ¿O qué toca?
No, yo toco las tarolas. Es como una batería, es como la pila, entonces es like the drum.
Sí.
Eso, estoy ando atrás ahí.
So, ¿a ti te gusta ese tipo de música o tú nomás haces, pero escuchas otra?
No, esa sería mi favorita música, aparte del like trap.
Del trap.
Aparte del trap. Like, a mí me gusta mucho el underground, pero like underground como Bay Area underground, Cali underground. Pero aparte de eso, sí, sería música mexicana, sería música bandera, especialmente los corridos, así como los narcocorridos.
¿De cuáles?
Como... No es narcocorrido, pero la que se ha estado... cuando fui en mayo a México, la que se estaba escuchando un chingo era el de Manuel Juárez. En un ranchito en la sierra. Feliz vivía Manuel Juárez.
Cántala,
Y luego
viejo.
DJ Pryor era la de El Pariente y El Gallero.
Hey.
Y esas andábamos todos prendidos. Y la de JGL tocaban ahí en México. No, pues como ahí había los narcos están ahí en el rancho, pues les vale. Entonces ahí
No,
sí
pues
tocamos
sí,
de todo. No, es que este año había un narco, güey. Pero seguía pidiendo la misma rola. El Bandido de Amores.
Oh, esa.
Esa mera, la seguía pidiendo. ¿Y
¿Cómo
ustedes cuáles buscan?
A mí me gusta la música de reggaetón. Ahorita como están los gentes como Fuerza Régida, Javi, Peso Pluma. Esos son los tipos de canciones que yo sí escucho. Pero Todos
Me
los
gusta mucho
Ey,
el
ya.
reggaetón.
los reggaetón.
Y así para así.
Perrías.
Ella sabe que está bien buena.
Como me dice Bad Bunny, man.
¿Y por qué te gusta mucho el reggaetón?
Es porque cambié de genres. Yo como antes escuchaba como así rap, como todos esos like low pump y todo ello,
Yeah,
pero no me gustó mucho. So ya fui a mucho reggaetón y escuché como Ozuna y empecé
Ozuna.
escuchando Bad Bunny. Es como me agarró.
Ozuna, baby.
La guagua.
Pero sí, es ahorita ya con todas estas nuevas personas que ya vienen con todos esos de
Yeah.
corridos y de like todos
Oh,
country cut.
Yo me recuerdo cuando se combinó con ¿se acuerdan de Obi? El que hacía corridos tumbados,
¿Quién,
tumbados,
el-
pero ese...
A lo mejor, a
Se
lo
llama
mejor.
El Javi.
No,
el,
Javi Official.
No,
el Javi
Obi.
Official ese, güey.
Ese.
Es Obi. Era
Obi.
Obi. Era amigos con Nathaniel Cano. Y era un reggaetonero, pero le gustaban mucho los corridos, güey.
A lo mejor,
Yeah.
mejor si lo
Era
miro
bien
la cara.
pelón. Estaba bien chistoso.
Ahora, a ti qué.
Entonces, tú, Sammy.
Pues a mí, honestamente, los corridos tumbados. Me encantan. Los corridos tumbados. Puro Danny Lux. Puro Danny Lux. Danny Lux.
Oh, like sad, así bien deprimido, así, de
Yay,
amor o like
yay.
desamor.
Te quebraron
De
el
los
corazón,
dos.
papá.
De los dos, de los dos.
Güey,
Porque a veces andan animados y a veces pues ando... Ey.
¿Sabes? Te quiero preguntar algo.
Ey.
¿Te rompieron el corazón o no?
Unas que otras veces. Unas que otras veces.
Ah,
Pero ahí andamos, ahí andamos.
Ahí
Ahí
está.
andamos.
Son los tiempos malos en este momento, pero ya llegamos al final aquí de los
Está bien.
semestres.
Yeah,
Ey, ya casi, ya los
finals,
finals.
ando valiendo. Tío, güey.
Andamos bien,
Digo,
andamos
sí
bien.
de que se puede, pero
Pues sí se
ando-
puede.
Ando cansado, güey. ya
Güey,
me cansé, güey.
es que ya me quiero ir para
Dame
allá.
otra
echarme un sueño ya.
Lucky, I need another week, bro. Dame una semana extra para...
Pero
¿no?
es lo que puede, sí puede, pero que no. Pero obviamente no tienes que pensar, oye, obviamente yo pagué más de 1,000 por esto.
Yeah,
Eso
entonces
no
ya,
tienes otra
huevo.
chance.
Hay que echarle pilas, bro. No hay de otra, bro.
Pero bueno, ya no tengo pilas.
Ya no tengo
Ya no tengo pilas.
Resucitan mis... Cambio de pilas, por favor.
Cambio.
Cambio de pilas.
Ref.
A sus padres siempre le decían, ponte
Abre
las
rápido.
pilas, ¿no?
Yeah, bro, ponte las pilas. O me decían, ponte trucha. O like, no seas güey, no seas pendejo.
Mira, como me dicen a mí, en esta vida todo cuesta.
Oh, así me decía mi mamá.
Todo en
güey.
esta vida,
Like, mamá,
todo cuesta. En esta vida todo cuesta.
yeah, bro. Mi mamá dice, mamá, ando cansada.
Hasta-
Mamá would be like, no seas pendejo. I'd be like, alright, ma.
Oh, good damn.
Ándale, pues, mamá, bro. Ya no te digo nada.
Ay,
Bro, motivación, bro. Así me motivan, bro. No seas pendeja. I'm like, bueno,
la
pues.
cosa,
trucha, pues.
es que les quería decir, ¿qué piensan ahora que como estamos en la tema de música, así, ¿tú crees que es bueno que Bad Bunny canta en español en el Super Bowl?
Ey,
Yeah,
ey. Especialmente como estamos ahorita en hoy en día, sí.
¿Por qué?
Honestamente,
¿Por qué?
sí.
Dime.
No, pues ya ves con todas las cosas que está pasando con el Trump y pues los license agents y todo eso. Y pues a mí se me hace bien. A mí se me hace bien, honestamente.
Nah, que saquen el güey, bro.
Eh,
I'm playing.
no puedo-
No, está bien.
Que meten a este güey, que meten a
Mejor
este
que me
güey.
metan a mí,
A Mateo. Hey, Mateo for the Super Bowl, bro. Mateo for the Super Bowl.
Oh, shit, Mateo. Bro's gonna be performing Fuerza Regida.
Ahí va a andar
Ahí
con
va
su
a andar
banda y
yo,
todo. A lo mejor sí.
A lo mejor
Yo
sí,
voy,
bro.
sí.
A lo mejor sí se hace.
Mateo.
Nah, pero está bien que cante en español.
Wait. ¿Por qué? ¿Qué dijiste?
Digo, está bien que
Pues sí
cante
está bien
en
porque
español.
como...
No pasa nada, güey. ya.
Pero tú ya sabes cómo
Oh,
hablaron
sí, la
de este
gente son-
pinche América que ya son puros güeros aquí.
Pues sí. Andan de así technicalidades, pues, like... ¿de dónde? He's from PR, right?
Puerto Rico, sí.
Yeah,
sí.
es un territorio americano.
Es
so-
americano porque
Exactamente.
es un americano
so
cantando en
technically he's an American, nomás porque pues no le quieren dar la ciudadanía, pero es un territorio de Estados Unidos.
Pero sí es ciudadano, ¿no?
Mm,
Sí.
No, bueno, sí,
Sí.
pero digo, o sea, porque nació ahí, no nació con ciudadanía.
Sí,
Era
sí,
después,
sí,
o sea,
sí,
ya,
sí.
es lo que quiero decir. Pero,
A este punto yo no sé qué van a hacer con ese. Pero, Mateo,
Mateo, come save the day.
Mateo, come save the day, right? Be
¿tú,
like,
¿tú has podido un concert,
Hey.
Mateo?
¿Cómo se ha tocado?
Ajá.
Sí, pues yo toco en los bailes, me ha tocado con artistas, bandas grandes. Nuestra
¿Cómo-
banda
cómo
una
cuáles?
vez tocamos, abrimos para la Recodo.
Oh.
Una vez abrimos por Recodo.
¿En dónde?
No sé si eran por San José o por Sonoma. No me recuerdo, pero y hemos tocado en los festivales, como el festival que tiene Oakland, el Día de los Muertos, ese granote. Hemos tocado
ahí
ahí.
estabas
Sí.
tú, güey.
Tocamos ahí. Pues sí nos ha tocado así estar en el escenario. Entonces,
En los
no,
años-
está chido. Me ha tocado ir a-
No sabía que andaba aquí con Justin Bieber.
Basically, bro.
Yo no
Yo
sabía.
andaba con
no
Justin
sabía.
Bieber, bro. Él me decía, hey, güey, ponte trucha. I was like, all right, bro.
Te voy a llamar Javi.
Javi.
No, just kidding.
Otra vez.
Y yo
Hola.
puedo comerte. Pero tú tienes sueños de estar así, de hacer como famous, así como decimos, o estar llegar a un
Pues
lado.
nomás sería como en música de banda. Porque si no fuera
O nomás así de tocar.
en música de banda, las bandas no se pueden popularizar como las bandas de México. Porque
Ey.
aquí un músico no puede vivir de la música.
No, pues no.
Allá en
puede.
México sí se puede vivir de nomás la música. Pero aquí, como está, no se puede vivir de la música. Entonces, ya sabes, y como nomás la música se trabaja en fin de semana,
Ey,
pues tienes que tener otro trabajo.
pues
Entonces,
tienes
no-
que
no es-
tener tu jale.
Yeah.
y-
Ya, entonces, y luego, pues las bandas son como grupos de 16 personas, güey. Entonces, no.
Shit,
Sí,
es
sí.
mucho, güey.
Sí, si alguien se hace famoso es el dueño, pero los músicos
Los
van a ser
músicos
como-
no se quedan atrás. o
Ajá, se
luego-
quedan atrás, o sea,
porque
van on tour.
consigan a alguien
sí.
más, ¿no?
Sí, pero el que va, whoever reaches the benefits es el dueño.
Pues él es el dueño del grupo.
Pero no como en México, que ahí sí los pueden pagar bien y allí se pueden
Ey,
vivir
porque
de
yo
la
sé,
banda.
porque yo sé en México los grupos, porque muchos grupos van a las fiestas y todo
Yeah.
eso. Y pues y sí cobran bien.
Cobran bien, pero con el dinero que ganan sí se puede vivir
No,
allá.
pues sí, porque allá es diferente el estilo de
Ey,
vida es bien
y
diferente.
allá sí se valora la música mexicana de banda.
De banda, sí,
gente
porque-
como aquí.
Ey.
Pues nomás que así, nomás es.
No, pues sí.
Mira,
Yeah.
porque yo con mis grupos de amigos, como así decimos, de unos de trabajo y otros que no, vamos también a empezar un band, pero también no de corridos así, como, es un
Yeah.
como rock band.
Ya, pero sí, ahí es la diferencia. Ya son menos. Como, digamos, como Fuerza Rígida. Los famosos, los que son famosos,
Los famosos son
que
los cantantes.
whoever's reaping like the actual benefits
Ey.
siendo un grupo es como pues el güey de Fuerza Rígida y los otros como 3 músicos del grupo. Ya la banda que tiene él con que se presenta, nomás le pagan
No,
como
pues,
si
ey.
los pagan como si fuera una banda normal, nomás.
Normal
nomás,
es...
porque porque Fuerza Rígida no es todo concluido de la banda. Fuerza Rígida nomás es el cantante y el grupo.
Y los
Ajá.
músicos y los otros pues se quedan...
Yeah,
Pues nomás son una banda que
yeah.
contratan, ¿no?
Yeah.
Pues sí, me imagino. Es
Nomás
más fácil
nomás
así
los
porque
contratan para
así
hacerlo
no,
así, yeah.
así no tienen
Yeah.
muchos músicos con ellos.
Pero como en México, digamos, como conoce el artista El Fantasma,
Ey.
pues él tiene su banda, pero ellos sí pueden vivir de la banda.
No, pues sí.
Pero es que nomás es diferente.
¿Cuántas
de-
personas
no-
tiene ese grupo ahí?
Una banda regular son como 16 personas.
Fuck.
Entonces
Porque
ya no-
acuérdate, porque hay muchas cosas.
hay muchos instrumentos.
en
Pero
una banda.
Tienes que dividir todo el check y todo,
Yeah,
¿no? Lo tienes
entonces,
que
yeah,
dividir
No, pues sí,
todo, ¿no?
porque...
Por eso digo que está difícil.
Un pago de que unos 500, 600 en dividido en no sé en cuántos, pues honestamente no es mucho.
Yeah.
No es mucho, te sale pues nomás para la gasolina, honestamente.
Yeah, bro.
La gasolina y luego unos freaking cheese fries del Dave's
Para
Hot
las
Chicken.
cocas, güey. Para las cocas.
¿Cuál?
Hey, bro, catch you in the bathroom de 15. No, pues. Next topic.
¿Tú te pones nervioso cuando estás tocando en un grupo bien grande?
No, nunca me ha tocado así. Bueno, pues cuando ha tocado así en escenario grande, nunca me he puesto tan nervioso. Pues nomás digo, es como
Es que
tocada regular.
¿Qué es lo más
No
que
te
tú-
enfocas en las personas, te enfocas en tocando
Sí,
mejor,
porque
¿no?
la neta con mi instrumento a veces ni tengo tiempo para ver, o sea, para arriba porque estoy viendo como así.
Sí,
acá.
porque está tan enfocado en
Ando así,
tocar y...
me tienen en
Ey.
putiza, güey.
¿Qué es lo más que tú crees que tú has como tocado enfrente del grupo? ¿Cuántas personas tú crees?
Pues me ha tocado como pues miles.
¿Miles?
What the-
Yeah, como ha tocado pues el festival de Oakland, ha tocado en el festival de Richmond.
Uh,
No,
Loco,
pues sí.
tú estás en el short.
Te digo, estamos con Justin
Yeah.
Bieber.
Pero me pagan como like a regular como músico, no como yo no gano like profits como el dueño. El dueño
gana
el dueño-
todo y nomás te
Ajá.
paga. Y nomás te
me
paga.
paga así
Metiendo la
como si
bolsa.
fuera yeah.
Nomás es un común.
Me pagan por hora, no me pagan así como si fuera el evento. No sé cómo
Sí, nomás,
explicar, yeah.
es como nomás para
Pero
trabajar.
el dueño sí se queda con su
Con su
feria,
chequezote,
yeah, nomás
¿no?
paga a los músicos.
No,
yeah.
manches.
pues,
¿de
El que
veras?
gana en una banda son los dueños, pero es una putiza también ser dueño. Porque
No, pues sí, porque tiene que manejar
en la banda
todo.
que estoy ahorita ya me voy a ir y yo ya estoy haciendo mi propia banda.
Eh.
Entonces yo voy a ser el dueño.
Ahí vas a ganar
Ya,
tu
yo
chequezote y
y
ya.
mi otro amigo ya vamos a hacer nuestra banda. Entonces, ojalá no pueda tocar así en un escenario grande. Pero
¿Cómo?
andamos de...
¿Cómo se llama tu banda otra vez?
La de que me voy a ir se llama Estrellas de la Vida, pero la nueva que ya estoy formando, yo voy a ser dueño, mi banda La Pachanguera. Banda La Pachanguera para que...
La
Para
Pacha.
que ahí lo sigan en Instagram, banda La Pachanguera. Ahí si quieren pachanguear para su fiesta. Pachanguear.
Unos
That sounds
micheladas,
crazy,
mami.
man.
Yeah. Nuestro like motto, nuestro dicho es ¿cómo se dice? Armar la pachanga. Hay que armar la pachanga.
Ey,
Ese es
se está
Es
armando,
like,
se
banda
está
la pachanguera.
armando.
Ya llegó la pachanga.
Ey.
Peso Pluma aquí.
That's our intro. So,
Oh,
andamos
ahorita.
perros ahorita. Yeah. Wait, okay. So what about y'all? Like, what about y'all?
Pues tú ya
So
sabes.
wait, but like, what made you go into like, ¿qué te hizo querer seguir reggaetón?
Reggaetón.
Yeah, like,
Ándale.
¿qué te hizo, like, what was the influence que te hizo cambiar de género?
Es porque como el rap, no hate, pero como rap es lo mismo. Ya todos que cantan en ese tiempo y hasta ahorita es solo lo mismo. Que nomás cantan sexo, drogas y...
Güey, el reggaetón es igual.
pero reggaetón es más...
Movimiento, tú
Pero andamos
sabes.
hablando como por ejemplo...
Como Ozuna es
Ozuna.
nomás haciendo freaky and like that's all he talks about, bro. It's just freak
Eso todo
songs.
reggaetón,
Todo es lo que habla,
tiene
bro.
más como...
Pero todas las
emoción.
temas son iguales. Igual con el rap. Es que yo creo que toda la música es igual.
No, ahí
Yo
estás
creo
mal.
que
mal.
toda
Yo
la
te-
música
tú
es
estás
igual.
mal. Yo
Si
digo que
estás
ahí estás
hablando
mal.
en un género,
No,
toda
tiene-
la música... Porque
no,
lo
estás
que
mal
tú
ahí,
dices,
tú.
alguien puede decir eso de la banda, la música mexicana. Alguien puede decir eso de cumbias, que todos se... Porque todas las
Sí.
cumbias siguen el mismo ritmo.
Toda la música sale del amor,
Yeah,
del, pues, no se diga, el alcohol.
Ey. Toda
Pero no es lo
todas
mismo.
las agrupaciones y los temas, todos son de amor, de drogas o de dinero.
No, pero no
Todo,
puedo decir
todo.
que todo.
Casi,
En diferentes
mucho.
formas, a lo mejor, pero todos hablan de igual.
De algo.
Por eso eso de que...
Alguien me
ese género habla todo igual. Todos
todos
hablan
iguales,
igual,
porque
güey,
si vas para atrás
Sí.
y escuchas la música vieja de antes, güey, es igual.
Es igual, nomás lo
igual,
están diciendo de diferente forma.
Diferente forma y lo
Diferente
estaba
forma.
tocando de diferente manera. Es igual,
Spitting here,
las cosas no cambian. No
Yeah.
cambian, nomás cambian la manera como lo hacemos.
Ok, mira.
So, ¿tú crees que Pitbull habla de todo eso?
Dime los nombres de tus canciones favoritas en reggaetón.
Como,
Ey,
ok.
Dime
oh,
los nombres de canciones. No, son las canciones que te recuerdan.
Ok. Uno que se llama Nubes. Uno que
Nubes.
se llama...
¿Y de qué se trata Nubes?
de un, ¿cómo se dice? De un love story de una persona que,
¿Qué
oh,
te
antes
dije?
estaba con una persona, pero tú antes contigo me llevas hasta las nubes.
Ok.
Like, tú
Love.
me subes.
Alright. La
Es
que
love,
sigue.
Amor, amor.
pero
La
no
que
me vayas
sigue,
a
la
decir.
que sigue.
La que sigue.
Ok,
sigue.
Ok, sí lo voy a decir, se llama sexo virtual.
Sexo. Ok.
Dale, lo que sigue.
Ok,
¿A
la
cuál,
que sigue.
a cuál Z? De un amor que antes que tenía con
Love.
Pero,
Exposed.
love, yeah, love,
Exactly,
es
ya
love.
ves, entonces todos los mismos. Entonces,
Ok,
I
sí,
can't-
lo entiendo,
I
pero no
can't-
como así, óyeme.
I can't accept that argument de que todos los géneros son... De que...
50-50,
de que
yo
un
digo
género
50-50.
hace-
Yo digo
you know what I mean?
50-50.
Lo pueden hacer de diferentes formas. Es
De
que
diferentes formas,
Yo
sí, pero-
creo que todas las canciones hablan cosas iguales, pero en diferentes formas.
Oh, ok, 50-50.
Igual como el trap. Trap, rap. Como la música de banda. Porque no mientan, todos los corridos casi se oyen igual.
Casi todos porque
El y van a tocar, van
La puerta
a hablar
negra.
de carros, de drogas,
De
del
mujeres.
rancho, dinero. Entonces, de todos de diferentes formas. Hasta los corridos de antaños, de antes.
De antes
y
iguales,
los
iguales.
nuevos, todos
Chalino
hablan
Sánchez.
Chalino
Chalino
Sánchez,
nomás
exactamente.
Hablaba
Ey.
de puro de corrido de matar. Ahora que hablan ahorita, es puro peso pluma y hablan de lo de igual. Igual con el reggaetón antes con I don't know, Wisin y Yandel or whatever. They
Como
were talking-
Pitbull, como
yeah,
Pitbull.
Wisin y Yandel andaban hablando de, pues, you know what they talked about back then. Y están hablando de lo mismo ahorita, nomás en diferente forma.
Ellos ya.
Sí.
Yeah,
La historia.
es todo igual, güey, es lo que
Yo sí
sigo
digo,
diciendo.
ok, sí, igual, 50-50, ok, no lo voy a mentir, sí.
Yeah,
Es
yeah.
50-50, ok.
You've been exposed.
Ajá.
Reggaetón exposed.
¿Y tus corridos?
También todo igual.
Lo mismo.
Yo digo que todo
Ok,
Yeah,
pues ahí
yo-
estamos.
bueno, that's like that. Ese era
Están
mi ejemplo.
iguales todos están iguales. Todos igual.
Todo cuando dice, ay, finalmente oír algo nuevo. Es like, bro,
No,
it's same shit, pero nomás está de forma diferente.
Ir a mi grupo. Vamos a hacer nuestras canciones. Y yo voy a ser el cantador ahí.
Ey, cántanos algo, güey, cántanos algo. Cántale algo, güey, cántale algo.
¿Cómo qué?
Algo.
Bésame la boca.
Don't look at me when you sing
I
that.
thought he was saying La Guadalupana, La Guadalupana.
La Guadalupana bajo el
Les captó uno de
tepeyac.
Javi. Y ya puedo comerte como a ti te
Nah, he went straight to Javi.
For real, huh? You'd be a good Javi, güey. Wait, entonces, ¿de qué va a ser tu grupo o qué?
Dice
de
que va a ser-
rock, como de punk rock. Pero así te la cosa, porque ahorita ya apenas ya andamos comprando nuestras cosas. O ando comprando mi micrófono ahorita y como el bass. O ahorita es como diciendo hasta empezando. Y porque todavía tenemos el tiempo que tenemos que practicar también. Y
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, bro, I know that feeling, bro.
Yeah,
Todo lo del ensayo. y todo
exactamente.
¿Qué? ¿Van a ser como un cover band o cómo es el rollo?
eso. Pues así empiezan todos, ¿no? Like cover band.
Vamos a cantar como ya canciones así. Primero cantar canciones que ya pasaron los Beatles y como cosas
güey,
otras.
los-
Blink-182, así
los
cosí,
Beatles,
pero...
los Beatles.
Y
When
después
I
ahí
was
hacemos nuestra
A
cosa.
young boy.
Ese güey.
Así bien
Well,
perros, huh?
Y luego le van a poner uno de Rao.
Turn around and die. Así.
Esas son cosas mías.
Puras mamadas en este episodio.
Este podcast, dice.
Podcast de mamadas.
Así se llama el nuevo podcast. Podcast de mamadas.
No,
Ok, todos.
Güey,
Pónganse listos para el podcast de mamadas.
la tema.
Las mamadas.
Las mamadas. El grupo mamadas.
Grupo mamadas.
Recuerdan, la tema era música mexicana.
Pero sí, Brink, pone más tiempo. Ahí estamos.
Era música mexicana. Y eso están diciendo.
Ya
Es
acabamos con
música de
mamadas,
todos, ya.
Acabamos de mamadas, bro.
Mira, ahí está este güey.
Ay, bueno, el tema que sigue.
Güey.
Ay, no, bro.
Otro tema, ya.
Dime algo, Mateo, pues.
Hay que cambiar porque...
Cambia el tema. A ver.
Háblale ya.
6-7.
¿Cómo? 6-7. Güey. No. Déjame decirte algo de 6-7 ahorita. So,
Ya que andamos en la tema.
Ya estamos en el tema del
ya que andamos
6-7.
con las
6-7.
mamadas. Ya que
Mira.
andamos con las mamadas, pues ya.
Mira,
Hay
el tiempo
darle.
que yo fui a Tijuana, que les dije, el último podcast que estaba, fui como unos 2 semanas, ¿verdad?
Ey.
Fui allá y obviamente con mis cousins y mi otra familia allá y les dije, oh, mira, el número 6-7. Y ahí me miraron como, ¿qué?
Pendejo, güey.
Y yo, no, pues ustedes viven debajo de una roca o qué. No saben qué es 6-7
No saben
allá.
del 6-7. No, ni
No
en
saben,
español.
no, nada de eso. Pero
No saben. Entonces no saben.
No.
Entonces, ¿crees que el brain rot no es internacional?
no es allá. No,
¿Es
no,
brain
no.
rot international?
Sí, porque cuando...
Yo odio-
No, porque en esa semana del pavo, del semana del pavo,
Ey.
cuando fui a Mexicali y andaba en las fiestas con mi primo, güey, los chamacos me estaban diciendo 6-7, 6-7.
Entonces
6.
a ti, a los...
8-9, 8-9. 8-9.
Y luego me estaban diciendo y luego me estaba diciendo Duke Dennis.
Allá.
Big Dennis.
Que tenían Riz.
Oh,
Ey.
mewing.
Ustedes un día eran... Do you guys ever live to like... Ustedes tenían como... Sus high schools eran como... ¿Tenían muchos mexicanos o cómo era?
No, sí.
Ey.
¿O
sí.
cómo era
sí.
el demographic? ¿Era mixteado?
Hayward
Era-
High, baby.
Yeah.
Pues en la
Puros
mía
latinos
era muchos mexicanos y güeros.
Damn. ¿A ustedes les tocó los alucines?
Ey,
Bro, I had hella alucines, man.
güey, te
Bro,
pareces a Lucín.
pensábamos que éramos like, narcos, pero pensaban que eran narcos, güey.
A los simpa.
Pero algo bien pa. No, ni hablaban así, but they were just like on something. Pero es que todos mis músicos, todos mis músicos, todos mis...
Pues tu banda.
No, todos los que iban a mi escuela acabaron siendo músicos.
Ey.
Hay como, de mi clase salieron como 4 grupos.
4 grupos.
Como 4 grupos, porque
No,
como en ese tiempo empezó de todos que querían hacer como corridos tumbados y todos empezaron
Oh, con todo ese
todos
re-
empezaron a comprar guitarras y todo eso.
Ese,
Todos compraron una pinche
ya-
guitarra.
No, pues
Todos
ya me
compraron una
imagino.
pinche
Ya me
guitarra.
imagino. No, porque era, pues,
Yeah.
era la época de todo eso.
Era la época, güey. ¿Ustedes participaron de ser alucin?
Alucín.
Yeah.
Yo no.
Yo no,
Casi.
no.
Nunca.
No, a mí
Yo
sí
no
me
sé
tocó, güey.
Nunca me tocó.
Yo me sentí bien narco, bro. I was like, fuck, estoy bien perro. Pero ni
Te
tenía
mordieron, te mordieron.
pero ni tenía pinche carro. Dije, fuck.
Alucín ni nada.
Bien alucin.
Heel toe.
Alucin sin carro. Alucin sin dinero, bro. Tenía la bolsa, pero no tenía nada en la
Alucín,
bolsa.
pero pata de raíz.
Bro. Tenía la bolsa, pero la bolsa no tenía nada, bro.
Ni para los chicles,
Ni
no.
para los chicles,
Ni
bro.
para los
Ni para
chicles.
la coca, bro. Fuck.
Te peinabas con un limón.
Me pe-
Te peinabas con un limón.
Hoyos en los pinches calcetines. I was like, yo soy bien perro.
Whoa,
But I had some cool shoes, though.
The red bottoms or what?
Nah. It was just
Las
like-
botas. ¿O
Las
qué?
botas.
Las botas.
Oh, yeah. I used to wear a lot of boots. Well, I still wear boots a lot.
¿Todavía tienes botas? ¿Te vistes de botas cuando te vas a concerts?
Oh, sí.
Yo sí,
En la
yo
banda,
sí.
yeah. Tengo que andar de bota. Y en México.
Oh,
no,
¿deben? No
Sí,
se,
pues
no se
es
pueden
el-
poner Jordans ni nada.
Nah, es el uniforme, güey. Tenemos uniforme, güey.
¿Eh?
Tenemos nuestros sacos
Ay,
así.
sí.
Como las bandas andamos bien perros nosotros, güey. Uno tenía tanto glitter, güey, que se metió al carro, güey, y ya no podía sacar el glitter. güey. O sea,
Güey, se
nomás
parecía como el
usamos-
sol ahí
ya.
adentro.
Nomás usamos ese uniforme un día. Pero están caros esos uniformes. Cuestan
Sí,
como
me
$200
imagino.
por un uniforme.
No, pues porque es como
Porque
un traje, ¿no?
Sí, es el traje, güey.
Pues, el
Y
traje.
los mandan a hacer a México. O sea, lo mandan a un diseñador de trajes de banda como en Sinaloa.
Yeah.
Y los mandan a hacer y los mandan para acá. Es una... Pero $200.
Oh, so es
güey.
de allá, el uniforme es de allá. Pues.
Yeah,
Oh,
bien
shit.
perro, güey.
Está caro la cosa.
Todos los
¿Ustedes
chiquibabies.
les gustan oír música en español?
Hey.
Oh,
Like,
está
diga-
evidente.
Like rap in Spanish?
Sí.
Español rap.
Como Daddy Yankee, Pitbull, todos ellos. ¿O no?
No, like rap, pero en español.
A
No
veces,
creo.
no mucho, pero sí a veces.
A mí
A
no
veces,
me gusta. A mí no me
Creo que
gusta,
sí
güey.
lo he escuchado.
no, es que,
A mí no me gusta,
honestamente depende de la artista.
A mí no me gusta cuando la tota latina. Pero en español, no sé, como en español no sé, se oye tan chido como like trap. Like rap,
No, sí,
like
sí,
English rap.
sí.
No sé cómo explicarlo.
Se
pero
tiene
no
que
soy-
tocar diferente porque
Yeah.
hacer rap en español es bien diferente comparado en inglés.
Yeah. Soy bien raro, güey. Nunca me gustaba.
Fue un M&M en español.
Un M en español, güey. M&M.
Zapatito
Eminem.
blanco, zapatito azul.
Dime cuántos años tienes tú.
Tengo 20 y tú.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Este güey no me está contando.
Bro. Mamadas, güey. Güey, zapatito blanco, güey. Güey. ¿Crees que tú la podrías hacer
Pendejos
como
ustedes.
de rapero en español?
¿En español? No creo.
Yo sí creo, por ahí. Yo, sí
¿Eh?
sé- yo sería bien perro.
Pues,
Enseñar.
ande,
Ey.
hacete un freestyle.
That sounds like funk. Bro, it's bien funk. En el estudio. Dale la cabeza. Ok.
Zapatito blanco, zapatito azul. Eres una rata como Pikachu. Hueles a caca. No, wait, what the fuck? Eres tan peor, te quiero dar una cachetada.
Güey, eso es un meme. Yo soy...
Exactamente. Curi que te canta, curi que te canta.
He's just spamming Mexican memes now. man.
He's just spamming shit, man. Just saying bullshit. No andamos hablando de nada, güey.
Los dos.
Güey, ando buscando preguntas.
¿Qué
pero
tienes en
sabes
tu
de qué
teléfono?
hablar.
¿Qué tiene en tu teléfono? Mira, tiene ChatGPT. ¿Qué tiene? A ver.
Güey, ese... güey,
Espérame, dame un
ese güey
segundo.
habla con ChatGPT más que su mamá.
Ey,
güey.
perdón.
¿Usa ChatGPT para la escuela?
A ver, Wait, all these are hella serious.
Él pensó que el ChatGPT era parte del Canvas, bro.
Pensaba que le iba a
La
ayudar.
neta, sí, güey. A ver, fun questions.
¿De dónde
Alright.
sacaste funk, güey?
No, güey.
No fun
Ya hablamos de
questions.
comida favorita, ¿verdad?
Yo entendí funk.
¿Y tus
bro.
headphones dónde están?
Tengo los speakers aquí afuera.
Ay, güey.
But what salsa you prefer to taco?
¿Salsa?
salsa?
La verde.
La verde, ya, la verde es la más perra, güey,
No,
bro.
porque sí, porque...
La
La
roja, el
roja
roja le
sabe.
quema el culo.
What?
Les quema el culo del rojo.
¿Qué?
Nah, no question, bro.
Te digo.
Bro.
He loves reggaeton for a reason.
No mames, con razón te
Con
gusta,
razón
güey,
te
bro.
encanta.
Puro
reggaetón para ti.
bro, it's like brain rotted you, bro.
Bro.
Okay. ¿Tortillas de harina o de maíz?
Well,
Maíz.
Maíz,
Güey,
ya me
¿En los tacos o en
Yeah,
qué? ¿En qué?
en
Nomás
general.
No, pues de maíz en
De
general.
maíz. ¿Tú? ¿Tortillas de maíz o de harina?
Maíz.
Yeah. Do you guys like quesadillas de tortillas de maíz? A mí me gustan, pero nomás con el queso de México. O sea, el queso así.
¿Cómo? ¿Cuál?
El
¿Oaxaca?
anaranjado.
¡Oh! ¿Ese?
Ya el que huele como... Que huele bien machín, güey. El que apesta las maletas, güey. Fuck. No, bro, ¿cómo? No mames.
¿Te gusta?
A mí me gusta ese queso, güey. Nomás que huele a madres, güey.
Sí.
Llegan mis abuelos y...
Huele a puro
y la
pedo.
casa huele... La maleta huele a puro pinche queso,
La
güey.
maleta, la ropa
La abren y digo, ¡ah, perro!
Perro, se murió alguien.
Que huele así, pero a mí me gusta ese queso. Ya, está bien.
No, pues sí
Bien
está bien bueno,
bien
pero
stinky,
sí. Huele machín.
How did y'all's mothers punish you? Let's talk about that. Bro, I was scared of my mom. A mí mi mamá
La neta, sí, yo
nunca me
también.
le cayó a pegarme. Porque yo era muy miedoso, güey. Nunca me pegó, güey. Nomás me hacía una mirada, pelaba los dientes así. Y me abría los ojos. No, coño, así me sentaba.
No,
dije,
es
nah,
que
güey, yo ando bien, bro. Yo me sentaba. Dije, ok.
yo igual, güey. Porque mi mamá tiene los ojos bien grandes. Pero bien grandes. Pero bien grandes. Pero bien grandes.
Pero bien.
Y cuando los abría, güey, a veces se salía poquito de sus ojos. Se salía. Y luego me hicieron una cara así como que me quería matar, güey.
No mames, cuando hacen así la cara.
Y luego, güey,
da miedo,
y luego
güey.
mi mamá es gritona.
Oh my God.
Es gritona, o sea, no es como que te regaña así
Porque
como...
son bien gritonas, bro.
No, pero grita como que...
No,
como que si alguien se murió.
For real, bro. Oh my God. Bro. I'm like, ¡mata! I'm like, ¿qué? ¡Samuel! ¡Vente para acá! I'm like, ¿qué, mamá? ¿Qué pasó? Tráeme el control, mijo. Oh, que la chinga.
¿A qué horas trabajas mañana? Vete pa' aquí, papá. ¡Te ocupo! ¡Samuel!
Pero te estoy hablando. Que te estoy hablando. ¡No me grites!
Mande más.
¿Qué, mamá? Que no me estés gritando. Háblame bien. ¿Qué, mami?
¿Qué?
Ok. Así
¿qué?
me hables. Así,
¿A qué horas trabajas mañana?
Oh, sí me dejas, like, oh, ¿no trabajaste?
Y ya
like,
te dije.
No, mamá, ya te dije que
Ya.
no trabajé. Oh, no, me hubieras dicho, porque si hubieras sabido,
Ay, no.
me hubieras podido llevar a la
Nunca.
tienda. Ah, mijo, nunca me dices.
Es que nunca avisas, nunca
Es
avisas
que nunca
nada.
avisas. And when I just told her like 5 minutes ago. güey. Bruh. No sé de qué pasa hablar. Alright, pero echen una tema, bro. Echen una tema.
¿Tacos de pastor o tacos de asada?
Oh, de asada. Easy pickings, bro.
De
De asada.
Asada.
De asada.
Asada.
Porque del pastor es que nunca sabes si van a estar buenos
Ok.
o no. Nunca sabes.
Un taco de pastor, 10 out of 10. 10 por 10.
Mm.
Y luego un taco de asada, pero es de... It's a 6 out of 10.
No, pues del pastor, güey, obviously.
Del pastor, creo.
Ya, pues es que es pastor y cuando están en el trompo y te dan un pedazo de piña. Oh, perro.
pedazo de piña.
Un pedazo de piña, güey. Oh my God, yeah.
Con su salsita verde.
Yeah.
Con su salsita verde. Tiene hambre, güey. Y acaba de comer. Ahorita se echó como unos 6 chicken wings. 2 pedazos de pizza.
Damn, bro, you counting my food.
Güey, no estaba bromeando. Neta, te comiste.
No, güey. Me comí 3 alitas, 2 pedazos de pizza.
Ey.
El plato de ese de... ¿qué hizo el güey?
No, muy cuero.
Jambalaya.
Está bueno.
Mi ensaladita para esta, güey.
Pero ¿por qué mientas?
No, sí me la comí. Mi ensaladita, hay 2 cookies.
Cookies.
Oh, fuck yeah, those are good cookies. Loki, vi que había pumpkin pie. Ahorita me la voy a echar, güey.
No, ahorita estaba pensando en la pumpkin pie.
Yeah,
ahorita.
pues que estaba allí y luego dije, fuck, tenemos que...
¡Ey, güey!
Oh, Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Andaba diciendo groserías todo el parque. Se me olvidó, güey.
No te quiere decir
¿Por qué nadie me dijo nada, güey?
Porque estábamos hablando.
Oh, lo andaba diciendo.
Estamos hablando.
Bro, se me olvidó, bro. I've been ripping him like it's nothing. Nadie me dijo nada, güey. Nadie dijo, hey, güey, cálmate, güey. Bro. Oh, bro.
Y ya cuando hice el cambio, eso más se quedaron las groserías.
Wait, so what would y'all do? Tacos or burritos?
Burritos.
Burritos? Yeah. I feel like a good burrito is better than a good taco. In my opinion.
Facts.
What do you
Porque
guys think?
tienes más.
Es que, yeah, it's like ya tiene todo en...
Tienes los frijoles,
Right.
el arrocito,
Ajá.
su salsita,
Ajá.
con su guacamole.
Yeah.
¿Qué más?
Pico de gallo.
Pico de
Depende de la
gallecito.
situación. Yo creo
¿Qué dijo?
algunos días tacos y otros días un burrito.
No, yo digo, sí, bueno, si los dos son like 10 out of 10, right? 10 out of 10 taco over the 10 out of 10 burrito, me llevo el burrito. Because I feel like the burrito is better than the taco.
Pero estábamos diciendo un 10 out of 10. No.
Yeah, I think a 10 out of 10 burrito is better than a 10 out of 10 taco.
Como en completo, yo creo que los burritos son mejores que los tacos.
Yeah.
Pero si me haces escoger entre un burrito, que es un 10 por 10, y un taco, que es un 10 por 10, elijo el taco.
Really?
Sí, un taco de asada. Imagínate un taco de asada, güey.
But
Un
I feel like
taquito de
a
asada.
burrito, like a 10 out of 10,
No,
like that
güey.
shit's fire, bro.
No,
Like a
porque
good
no,
one,
es que
a good
I've
one.
had some good burritos, pero güey, los tacos cuando lo haces bien tienen otro sabor porque nomás es la pura carne. Si te gusta la
why.
carne, si te gusta,
But that's why I feel like el burrito tiene todo eso.
pues sí tiene
la
todo,
carne,
pero
you know?
como los otros flavors,
Ah, it's because you love meat, huh?
pues a ti como me dijiste antes, I love meat in my mouth. Así dijiste, ¿no?
No, that wasn't me, man. That wasn't me.
Sí, no te dijiste.
I don't know who that was, bro. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was some random guy, bro. I don't know who you're talking about that fucks with me like
It
that.
was AI.
Yeah, that was AI, bro. That's- Right. So,
Sorry,
confirmed
AI.
here on the Chicanos podcast, tacos are for meat lovers.
Te encanta la carne.
Tacos son para los meat demons.
Son
The meat demons, bro. Meat gobblers.
No, güey.
Oh, shit. Oh. Córtale, güey. Ya es hora. Ok, pues, raza de East Bay, se ve que ya la clase se terminó. Entonces, ya nuestro tiempo ya aquí ha acabado.
Acabado aquí.
Lo voy a
Último
pasar a
session.
Sammy que nos ayude a terminar la sesión. Ahí nos pone una musiquita y ya nos vamos.
Ariel Morales, aquí
Gracias por
estamos.
nuestro podcast de Chicanos. Ahora se ha convertido en nuestro podcast de mamadas. Bye.
Adiós.
Adiós.
Oh, Captain, can we please get back to land? 'Cause I'm seasick, 'cause I've been sailing way too long. And I don't wanna see no waves, at least for a year or two. I just wanna feel some solid ground. Don't turn around. Softly waiting, never found. I don't care how we get there. I just wanna hear the sound of you. If I
All right, and that was Skunk Funk from their album. There's a tune called Seasick on their album Possession for Sale. Again, some of the great music that we play here on East Bay Live. Yes, we do own the rights. These bands have given us licenses specifically for our broadcasts here at California State University East Bay. We're grateful to all of them, especially groups like Skunk Funk, really good stuff. And of course, that's what college radio does best, is it premieres lots of new alternative music. If you want your music to be played here, you just go ahead and get a hold of us drop us a line here on our East Bay Live YouTube channel. We'll be happy to take a listen and see if we can put you into rotation here on our internet-based station. Right, that wraps it up for this fall semester 2025. We're going into the holiday season. This has been COM 337. Brought to you by the Department of Communication here at California State University East Bay. I'm the professor, the teacher, Kevin Pina. It is the podcasting and live radio course. Next semester, we're going to be teaching COM 333. I'm going to be teaching photojournalism, and that's always a fun class, too, to take here in our department. But everybody have a fine, safe holiday, and we will see you in spring 2026. All right, let's go out with this song, Let Me Ride by Indy Raheem.
Let me